Good evening and welcome to Panther Stadium for another edition of high school football on the ISC Sports Network, where local lives here, as we get ready to watch the North Central Panthers with a record of 1-3 take on the Harrison Raiders, who are 2-2. Along with Joe Polizzi, I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for being with us on this Friday night. Our broadcast brought to you in part by the Fountain Room, voted one of America's 50 most beautiful restaurants. That is the Fountain Room. By the Gridiron Foundation, growth, development, purpose. Find out more at gridiron.org. By the IndyCard Exchange, make money off your collection. Find out how at indycardexchange.com. By LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing and drains. Shearer Brothers Realty, local real estate experts serving the neighborhoods around North Central and throughout Washington Township. And by Tipmont, superfast fiber internet, now available in Tippecanoe County. Get started today at join.wintech.com. Well, Joe, let's start first with the home team, North Central, 1-3 on the year. Started off with that win over Brebeuf. It's been 3 straight tough losses against very good opponents. What do they need to do to bounce back here tonight?
Well, I think what we've seen so far from this team is that they're well coached. When they have issues in a football game, you could see how hard they work the next week to eradicate those issues. And we've seen that go from week to week. We saw the Warren game and the kicking game kind of blew up in their face. The next week, the kicking game was flawless. Last week, they gave up some big plays, and they were also unable to convert on third downs. We'll see how that work has paid off. But I see some progress of a football team that's going to get a chance to really cut it loose tonight.
And they're going to face a 2-2 Harrison team that, like them, is also led by a first-year head coach. For North Central, they're led by first-year head coach Colin Kofer, and Harrison is led by Kyle Holderfield, who's 2-2 in his first year, a McCutcheon graduate, and he's got these guys playing pretty well offensively. They're scoring 28 points a game, but like North Central, they have had some trouble giving up the big play as well.
Well, that's what it's going to be for both these teams tonight. It's going to be who can hold on to the football, who can execute on third downs, and who can eliminate that big play. I could see that North Central, I could just see in the pregame warm-up how they work so hard on their pursuit path to the football, and that's really how you eliminate the big play.
And looking at that, it is also homecoming tonight. A lot of the folks who graduated in 2005 from North Central, it is the 20-year anniversary of that. So the class of 2005 Panthers are here tonight along with some other North Central alums. So they would love to get a win on homecoming this evening. What do you think are the keys to victory here, Joe, for both teams?
Well, the keys that I see are continue to work on kicking game perfection, certainly for North Central. They're past that early part of the season where the kicking game mistakes would break down. Now it's how well and which team is going to be best to perfect the kicking game. I see the third down conversions being a big key. That was an issue last week. They found the Panthers found themselves in third and forever, which is never a good situation. Who can execute and convert on third down? And lastly is something we've touched on earlier. Can you eliminate the big play? Those touchdowns of 50 yards or more are backbreakers.
Yes, they are. And both those teams that we're going to see tonight have had some issues with it. North Central, they got their first win of the season against Brebeuf, which snapped a 32-game losing streak to start the year. Since then, though, 3 straight losses. For Harrison, it's been a win to start the year against West Lafayette. Lost to Plainfield, which was a great game, a one-possession game at that, which Plainfield won 34-27. Then they bounced back in week 3 to beat Brebeuf, the same Brebeuf team that North Central beat, only to lose last week to Lafayette Jeff, a solid team in 5A, 47-26. Looking at it from that standpoint, Joe, this is Harrison's first game against a 6A opponent in North Central.
It'll be interesting to see how they adapt. It'll also be interesting to see how North Central can come back. I mean, that's murderer's row when you get Hamilton Southeastern, Warren Central, and then Lawrence North, maybe the most talented of all those three, and they're going to get a chance to play somebody that they're going to be able to outrun, outspeed, and probably out-emotion. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams match up and how they clash together.
And one thing that is important to note is that these are not two teams that play each other very often. Harrison, of course, from West Lafayette, and North Central from Indianapolis. So Harrison's from way far north in Indiana, and they don't play each other a whole lot. In fact, over the last 40 years, these two teams have played each other just 3 times, and North Central has won 2 of the 3 meetings. The last time these two teams played each other was on August 18th of 2000, and North Central won that one 58-14. So we'll see how this one shakes out 25 years later. It's been a long time since these two football programs have played each other. We will have the starting lineups and the kickoff from Panther Stadium when we come back in a moment. You are watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing Crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first started learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and the Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3,
Being a Division III athlete, I can be an athlete and still have very strong academics, especially here at Wabash.
Professors here are super supportive of the athletic work that we do. That's a really great way that Wabash supports its student athletes.
I love being a Division III athlete. I have a tremendous amount of work being a biochemistry major, and I can still flip the switch, go to practice, play the sport that I love, and you can do both.
Festive night at Panther Stadium, homecoming for the North Central Panthers as they try to snap a 3-game losing skid against the Harrison Raiders from West Lafayette. Along with Joe Polizzi, I'm John Herrick. Thank you to Vince Morellis and the rest of our fantastic crew on the ISC Sports Network, providing you with all the pictures, the video, the replay, everything that you will come to see tonight. It takes a village, and we are very appreciative for all the hard work that people put in behind the scenes. Joe, this is interesting from the standpoint that now we're getting into week 5. This is the 5th week of football, and now, you know, this isn't week 1 anymore as the North Central Panthers come out onto the field to a very appreciative crowd. What are some things you're looking at now at this time of year? Because it's not just about learning anymore. You're trying to get grounded into form as you make that push towards the postseason.
Exactly. What we've seen now are the 3 really rugged games in a row where you got exposed. North Central got exposed in a different way in each of those 3 games. And it gives the coaches a chance to correct those errors. I think they pretty much know what they've got. They know who their toughest hitter is. They know who's going to block up front. They know who's going to make the big play. Now can they correct as a group, offense, defense, and kicking. And we see progress each week. And I'm telling you, the schedule makers came through because this is the perfect time of the year to have a non-league game for them so they get a chance to play somebody that is not going to be able to outspeed them like we've seen in the last 3 weeks.
And then when you look at Harrison, they certainly can put up points in a hurry. They average 28 points a game, but you know this from when you coach, Joe, it's frustrating when you win one, lose one, win one, lose one. You want to try to get some consistency going there.
Exactly, yeah. When you win, you feel like you're never going to lose again, and then when you lose, you feel like you're never going to win again. So it's very, very difficult. I'm sure they want to get some consistency going. But this is just shaping up to be a great football game. You mentioned the crowd, the enthusiasm of the crowd. I like the way it's stayed up here. They've been able to come back week after week after week and really support their team. And I just love high school homecoming. It should be a great night.
82 degrees under a partly cloudy sky here in Indianapolis. Should be a fantastic night for football here in Indianapolis. So the team captains are out at midfield right now. And we're about to find out who is going to get the ball first. Of course, Harrison being the visiting team, they get to call the coin toss in the air. So we'll see how they decide to do it. And the referee says Harrison won the toss. They have deferred. So North Central gets the ball to start it, and they will be going left to right on your screen in the red jerseys, and Harrison, of course, in the white jerseys. What's it like, Joe, too? We mentioned this. Both these coaches being first-year head coaches. Yes, of course, Kyle Holderfield has coached along the way. He coached under Terry Peebles for a long time, learned a lot from a great coach in that respect. Colin Kofer at the college ranks before he decided to come back and be a head coach at North Central. What do you think their mindset is trying to get things established here, first year as head coaches?
I think as you get to the point that we are mid-season, you pretty much have got under control how your demeanor is going to be, how you're going to coach your team, and the personality of your team. Now it's can we continue to make the corrections that have been causing us to lose. But things like this, they get weeded out here by week 4 or 5 like we are in right now. And I think it's going to be smooth sailing. They seem to be two very, 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 very effective coaches that really pound on the fundamentals. And to me, that's all about building a program. You build it from the fundamentals and the foundation up.
Tuajon Averett back deep to receive for North Central, and there is a look at Aiden Robles, 6'2", 185-pound junior kicker who is kicking off for Harrison. And he's averaging about 49 yards a kickoff. He's had 4 touchbacks so far this year. He goes with a little bit of a short hop to one of the up men, so he decides to go with a deep onside, and North Central able to keep it on the field. Javen Brooks picking it up and getting a great return out of it deep into Harrison territory right off the bat.
Well, that's a move that backfired on the kicking team. They didn't want to kick it deep because they know the speed that's back there, so they thought they'd catch him sleeping with a little pooch, and they weren't prepared to defend it. Great field position, great shot of momentum to get this football game rolling. The Panthers and this ecstatic crowd getting after it.
That was a 37-yard return for Brooks. An excellent starting field position for the Panthers, starting from the Harrison 35-yard line. And we get our first look at the starting quarterback for North Central, Chase Grove, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And the handoff right away goes to Tuajon Averett. Multiple backs get the carry throughout the year, and Averett just got his 23rd carry of the season. He has 2 rushing touchdowns, and he's averaging about 6 yards a carry.
You mentioned Chase, just a 10th grader. We've seen him improve week by week. It's been some tough sledding at times. He has been attacked by some defenses that did nothing the last 3 weeks but pressure him, and he's really showed a lot of poise, and his ability to improve is very apparent.
Gained 3 on that last run. Grove has to take off and run with it here, keeps it, and is chased out of bounds. Setting up 3rd down and manageable. The man who ran him out was Jack Gonzalez. You're going to see a lot of Gonzalez for Harrison on both offense and defense tonight.
And you did say chased out of bounds, didn't you?
Sure did.
Aren't you something?
It looked like for that last minute there, he thought about throwing it, but then he thought, nope, I'll tuck it and run. And they put him at the 28, so that sets up what is a 3rd down and about 3. Whenever North Central keeps it in these situations, 3rd and manageable, things go better. When it's in 3rd and long, not as much. Grove with the handoff to Tuajon Averett. Averett taking his tackler with him, and based on where the referee is running to, that is a 1st down for the Panthers. Evan Walker making the stop, but had to hold on for dear life.
You mentioned that he looked to throw it, but held onto it and ran it. That's progress. Instead of throwing it up to a mirage, which may or may not be there, tuck it, get some yards, keep the chains moving, and get to an opportunity for a short 3rd down conversion.
Javen Brooks, who had that huge return to start the game, he's wide to the right. Tuajon Averett remains the deep back. Jaden Wakefield's in the slot, and the handoff inside goes to Demetrius Averett, Tuajon's brother, and Demetrius with a nice run, picking up the 1st down, rumbling into the red zone to the 18-yard line.
You got to like what they're doing with their offense, mixing it up, making that defense chase them sideline to sideline, and still being able to run straight at them. You like what they're doing. Game plan looks very, very effective, and they got them on their heels.
Correction, 13-yard line, shorted it by 5 yards. William Baker made the tackle. That's another 1st down in a row. So 2 first downs for North Central on this drive, trying to open up the game with a score.
Bringing the backers.
Grove firing, hit as he throws, end zone, and it is caught. Did he maintain possession? Yes, he did. Touchdown, North Central. What a catch by Javen Brooks. He starts off the game with the kick return, and then he ends the drive with a touchdown.
Perfect execution. Nice job manipulating that defense, and a great grab deep in the end zone. Another 10th grader making a play.
6'1", 170 pounds. What a throw by Chase Grove there.
Excellent idea, excellent philosophy on the attack of this first possession.
And here's the extra point from Caleb Foles, and he knocks it through. So 7-0 North Central. They get a big kick return. 5-play, 35-yard scoring drive. We're back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network. A 5-play, 35-yard scoring drive, 1 minute 42 seconds off the clock. Javen Brooks catches a 13-yard touchdown pass from Chase Grove. Extra point was good, so Grove throws his 7th touchdown pass of the season. Javen Brooks catches his 4th touchdown pass of the year, and he leads North Central in that department behind only Demetrius Averett in receiving yards. As Caleb Foles gets ready to kick it off, and it's high, it's end over end. Couple of guys back deep for Harrison. The man who returns it here, Zion Clopton. Clopton with a nice run back. Clopton taking defenders out to the 43-yard line. The man who finally got a hold of him was Jalen Amos. So good kickoff returns from both teams to start this one.
Very good. It's very impressive. I was hoping to see a little better coverage on the part of North Central. That's something they really need to work on, continue to improve in that kicking game. But that first drive was absolutely gorgeous. Taking it right down the field, attacking every different way that they could, and also no negative yards that drive. Every single yard was positive, and they kept moving those chains all the way down.
So look out for Landon Nikoloff, the starting quarterback for Harrison. 10 passing touchdowns to just 2 picks, and he hands it off. And the man who greets the running back really quickly, Styles Burnett, just wraps him up for a tackle for loss, and it's 2nd and long.
Yeah, that's going to be the chore for this offensive line for the Raiders, just being able to hang with the speed. They have not seen this type of speed yet on their schedule, nor have they seen it in practice, and they've got some good quickness up front for the Panthers.
Loss of 3, 2nd down and 13. Clopton is the back next to Nikoloff, throws it out right. Catch is made rather quickly there, but then not much after the catch is made. Channing Glick, the leading receiver, who's a senior, nowhere to go after he makes the catch, and Avier Walker on the North Central stop.
Brought a little pressure there on 2nd down. That's given them a 3rd and about 6 or 7. It's another down that they could put some pressure, but they do have to play a little bit tighter in the secondary, break on that football and come up and make the hit.
So they are calling it 3rd and about 6 after that 7-yard pickup. See what Nikoloff has up his sleeve here. His longest pass of the year has been a 72-yarder. He's also got 27 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Nikoloff fakes, now pitches left. This is Clopton. Clopton trying to get to the outside, breaks off a tackler, but not another one, as he is hauled down by Emmanuel Ohene Dwumfor, one of the leading North Central defensive tacklers.
I see Coach Kofer getting excited on the sidelines. He played in the secondary, and he knows how important it is to be in the right spot to defend the option, and they were perfectly prepared on that play.
Not the start for Harrison that they wanted, as they go 3 and out and have to punt it away. This looks like it is Gothrop back deep to punt this one away. Chase Gothrop, 6'3", 170-pound junior, to Averett. Averett fields it just inside the 30. Averett with great speed, running it back to nearly midfield as he is wrestled down there by Clayton Daubenmeyer. But that's a nice return of almost 20 yards.
Very ambitious return. He was, he took that and took control of it right away. It was a little shaky the way he fielded that ball, but he caught it on a full run and take advantage of your advantages. They can outspeed this team, and that's what we're seeing thus far.
So North Central scores on their opening drive. They force Harrison into a 3 and out. Chase Grove back out to manage the offense. The tailback behind him, Jalen Amos. They've had about 4 or 5 different backs they've used this year. Amos, the Averett boys, of course, Zion Murphy as well. Grove fires it out here to Averett. Demetrius Averett spinning, staying on his feet. Now down he goes as he enters Harrison territory. The man who finally gets a hold of him for the Raiders was William Baker, a senior linebacker.
Excellent gain on 1st down, hitting him on the perimeter, making him chase the football and making him get a little taste of the kind of speed we're going to bring to you all night long.
7-yard gain, 2nd down and 3. Good start to the homecoming evening for North Central, looking for their 2nd win of the year. Dump off left to Amos. Amos going forward, and he is tackled, but not before he gets a 1st down. The man who gets him, Javion Quadhammer, chain mover.
Absolutely. Keep those chains moving. Hitting them on the flank to the right, hit them on the flank to the left. Now run the football. I think they're doing a super job offensively, and they're having their way at this point.
Wide receiver wide to the left goes Jordan Jones. Brooks is in there as well. Demetrius Averett's in the slot to the right. Grove takes the snap and hands this one off to Amos. Amos bouncing ahead. The referee in the middle of the field better get out of the way, but Amos able to get a nice gain out there as he's brought down by Aiden Kelsey, a junior defensive lineman.
Nice job, just a lead play up front. The slot back folded underneath, led up on a linebacker. Nice gain. If you can run the football like this and hit them on the flanks like you have been, the only thing that's going to stop you is your own mistakes. So continue to play with ball security and come off the football like you have been.
Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Now in there, Jeremiah Gillespie, wide to the left. He's been a factor in the passing game this year. Grove rolling, getting a block, now firing down the field. Pass was a risky one, and it was broken up on the secondary side by Jack Gonzalez, number 2 in white on your screen.
Sure was risky, and it's dangerous, and please don't do that, but I like the way they got him out of the pocket. They called it perfectly with the Raiders bringing linebackers, so they got him out of the pocket just at the right time. But don't throw across your body to the middle of the field. Very, very rarely is that going to be an effective high percentage play.
Intended target was Jordan Jones, junior wide receiver at 6'1", 150 pounds. Now a 3rd down and 3, a big down and distance here for both teams. Man in motion is Noah Ardillo Miller. And the handoff to Averett. Averett turning on the speed. Tuajon Averett bouncing off tacklers and finally brought down around the 20-yard line. Man who finally gets him is William Baker.
There's that speed again. They brought their linebackers trying to create the pressure, which has been successful the last 3 weeks. But you got a problem when there's speed. He breaks it loose like that. There's nobody back there. Everybody's in man coverage. There's nobody back there to make that play.
13-yard gain and a 1st down. North Central has 4 first downs so far in this contest. Grove firing, man wide open. And it's Averett, and Averett is hog-tied down at about the 13-yard line. The man who brings him down is Brady Hinchin. So Chase Grove looking awfully decisive early on.
He is doing a great job, but I got to tell you right now, the player of the game is who's calling the offense. They're hitting them on just the right spot every time. I want to see if these are just great calls or the defense is lacking, but they're doing a nice job. You see a soft cushion in the corner, they're taking advantage of it.
2nd down and about 2 after that 8-yard pickup. Got to give a lot of credit there to head coach Colin Kofer and his assistants. It's working out well. Dump off to Averett. Demetrius breaking loose, and he's got a 1st down. He's inside the 10. They might spot him out at about the 6. He's ridden out by Brady Hinchin. And looks like they're marking it at the 5, so that's another gain of 7 and a 1st down, 1st and goal.
So much speed on the field, and it's so evident in this game in particular, and it's tough to adjust. If you don't see it in practice, or certainly you don't see it on Friday nights, they're still on their heels, and they're going to have to crank it up here on defense to stop this football team.
1st and goal from the 5. Demetrius Averett in the slot. Tuajon Averett next to Grove in the backfield. Wide right is Brooks.
Bringing him
Grove
again.
Fires, end zone, looking for Brooks and overshot him. 2nd and goal, and the coverage was good by Gabriel Maxwell.
Again, both backers coming hard. The perfect call was on. I think it was a smart decision by Chase to throw it away instead of forcing a turnover situation here on a 1st down play.
Coming off the field for this play, Jordan Jones. Tuajon Averett still in there. Brooks out there too. Gillespie wide left. And of course, Javen Brooks, who's already caught a touchdown pass, is at the bottom of your screen. Chase Grove tries to figure things out. Averett comes in motion. He gets the pitch. He tries to get to the edge, and he does, and he scores. Demetrius Averett in for the touchdown, and it's 13-0 Panthers.
Wow, pure speed. That corner out there had no chance. He broke down. He was ready to make the tackle, but he was not prepared for that kind of quickness and speed. they are in trouble on defense.
So Grove to Demetrius Averett, 5 yards away. For Averett, his 3rd touchdown of the season. And on for the extra point, Caleb Foles, the holder. Cole Kreinhagen, who's the backup quarterback. And Kreinhagen gets it down, the kick on its way, and he makes it. 14-0, North Central with 4:35 left in the first quarter on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Well, there's a look at the Harrison defense trying to get regrouped after this rough start. They now trail 14-0. That latest scoring drive for North Central, 9 plays, 52 yards, 3 minutes and 11 seconds off the clock. Tonight's game brought to you in part by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. Foles on to kick off from the 40-yard line. Now, one thing we've seen good kick returns from both teams so far. So if you're the North Central coverage unit, better be ready here, because there are weapons on the other side for Harrison. Back looking at this, they've got back there Zion Clopton as well as Gabriel Maxwell, a speedy running back and receiver. And what do we have? Official blowing the play. Did they need to make a substitution here? It looks like they are.
Equipment issue.
Okay, so Chris Benjamin has to come off the field. Kenneth Still takes his spot. Might be something with his helmet. Yeah, he has to. Yeah, Benjamin's got to get that figured out. Foles' kickoff. High end over end, but returnable. And it's done by Maxwell. Maxwell, not a whole lot of room to work with. A 13-yard return. And a good tackle on special teams made by North Central's Miguel Downey.
Much better on the coverage. They came down hard. They had the lanes all filled. 2 or 3 guys got a piece of that tackle. It's going to be interesting to see how the defense plays. See a little bit of the maturity of this football team. They haven't led in the game in a month. So they have an opportunity here to really put it to them. And I want to see how they come out and play with that great emotion that's been evident in this defense when they're hot.
Harrison still looking for their first down of the game. Here is the pitch. Left side to Sullivan Garrett, and Garrett from the 27 gets to about the 35, so a nice gain there of 8 yards and brings up 2nd and 2.
A little bit of option play. They went back to it. We had the right people there in the right spot, just missed the tackle. And once they get outside the defense on an option play, that's lots of problems. 2nd and short.
Jaden Wakefield, the man who finally got the North Central tackle. 2nd and 2, the North Central defensive coaching staff really jumping around trying to make sure they get the calls in correctly. Nikoloff from the gun. And the snap comes over to Gonzalez. So a little trickeration from Harrison, and it pays off because he gets a big gain into North Central territory to the Panther 48-yard line. That is a gain of 17 and a first down.
I think they caught him in a busted coverage there. We had no support on the wide side of the field. That's what made that play hit so well. Finding some confidence on their offense and moving those chains with some good momentum. This is exactly what they need to stay in this football game.
Jaden Wakefield's 2nd straight tackle, and a good hard count from Nikoloff as it gets North Central to jump. So our first penalty of the game goes against the Panthers. So 1st and 10 just became 1st and 5. There's a look at head coach for North Central, Colin Kofer. He's not thrilled about that.
No. Breakdown in defensive alignment, the first down play, jumping off sides here. This is not what you want to see. You want perfection, especially after building the lead like that, and I'm sure he's going to get it.
So 1st and 5 for Nikoloff and company. He fires, he throws, he's got a first down as the catch is made to Chase Gothrup. And Gothrup able to make his 3rd reception of the year, now over 60 yards receiving on the season. That puts it at the 35 of North Central for a gain of 8 and a first down.
Nice quick release from the QB. You're right. He is something special. And they're finding the right spots and the holes in that defense now.
Clopton to the right of Nikoloff. Man in motion is Garrett. And Nikoloff keeps. And rumbling forward, he is brought down on that by Avier Walker, but not before he gets a nice gain. So this Harrison offense starting to find some groove here.
They have found some things they can do. Maybe a little bit, I'm hoping not, but maybe a little bit of a letdown defensively. Misaligned one time, and a little soft up front here now. Crank it up, Panthers.
2nd down and 2 after that 8-yard pickup. Clopton stays in to the right of Nikoloff. And Clopton gets the carry. Clopton with a nice move. Clopton to the outside. He scores. What a bounce back there for Harrison as Zion Clopton, the sophomore running back, shows his speed for the touchdown.
Took it right down the field. They're showing a little bit of speed of their own, and that's what we were looking for. How is that defense going to come out and play with a 14-point lead that they haven't seen in a while? And we got our answer.
5 plays, 73 yards, and that took 2 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. Nice response there for Harrison. The extra point to be applied by Aiden Robles, but I think we got some movement before the snap. Question is, who is it on? Offside again on North Central. So
half distance, are we still going to kick it?
So Harrison chooses to decline the penalty.
Ooh, okay.
And Robles will try the extra point. Snap a little bit high, but they get it down. Low line drive, but he's able to knock it through. And Harrison responds there, and it's 14-7. North Central still maintaining their touchdown advantage. Tonight's big dog of the game is powered by LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. In plumbing and in football, the battle is won in the trenches, and that is where the big dogs dig. Linemen open the holes, unclog the mess, and protect their team every single down. That is why LD Smith Plumbing and Drains highlights the big dog of the game. And stay tuned because we will award the big dog in the 4th quarter. Well, Joe, that's exactly what you needed if you're North Central, or if you're Harrison, not what you wanted if you're North Central.
Exactly. You thought you had things in control. You knew they were going to come up with some kind of offense to attack you, and they definitely caught them on their heels. Nice job offensively. We saw some speed and some skill and some execution with that offense. They're not ready to pack it in just yet. This will be an interesting drive to see how we now respond with North Central. But that big dog of the week has sure been a great addition.
It has.
It's been fun to add in that. It's been fun getting some spotlights on some big fellas, and it's been a lot of fun for me.
Jean Averett is back deep to receive the kickoff, as well as Jalen Amos. And Robles has the ball on the 40, ready to kick it off. But he goes with the deep onside to try to keep it away. It goes to Brooks. Brooks had a big return earlier. What about this time? Not so much, as he is brought down at about the 37-yard line. Very nice tackle made by Harrison's Clayton Daubenmeyer.
Nice job defending that by Harrison. They had their people stay at home. There was no place to go but up the middle. But it still is fairly good field position if you're starting on the 38-yard line.
Clearly, Harrison does not want to go deep to Averett. They don't want Amos to have a look at it. But that North Central speed definitely been a factor so far. Jean Averett is lining up next to Grove, it looks like. And Demetrius Averett in the slot to the right. Homecoming here at North Central. Panthers trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Jean gets the carry. Not much room to work with there. Harrison sniffed it out well, and Noah Douglas, senior linebacker, all over it.
It seemed to me that there was a little more there than we got credit for. Pretty good line surge up front. Offensive center really came off the football.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. North Central trying to shuffle some personnel around. Jaden Jones is back in the game. Brooks at the bottom of your screen. Now Demetrius Averett in the slot. Panthers try to get set. Grove fires, catch made. That's Jones, and Jones not much after he caught it. Clayton Daubenmeyer with his 4th tackle of the night already. They give him the 45. That's a gain of 6. So now that makes it 3rd down and manageable.
Nice job with the run after the catch. Perimeter blocking was very good also to make that play and get it in there. Nice completion. 3rd and manageable.
Couple more plays to be run for North Central before the end of the quarter. Snap. He's in trouble. He fires. Grove over the head of his intended target, Demetrius Averett. And that's a big mishap there for North Central because that brings up 4th and 3, wasting no time. They are sending on the punting unit with Caleb Foles in.
Usually on those quick routes like that, a 3-step drop, you could get that ball and fire it. They got a little penetration that threw him off his rhythm. Therefore, he was off balance and put that thing up in the nickel seats.
Jack Gonzalez back deep to receive the punt from Foles. Remember, this special teams unit struggled mightily against Warren, got better at it last week. Foles gets it down and boots it away. Gonzalez saying stay away from it. It rolls out of bounds at about the 25-yard line is where they call it. So that ends up being a 30-yard punt, no return.
That's actually about the last thing you want to do is go 3 and out after defense struggled on a long drive like that and get them right back on the field. But it will show a test of their courage and how they can come back and play and redeem themselves after that last drive where they really were out to lunch.
Colin Kofer on the sideline trying to help his team get regathered. Lennon Nikoloff back in the gun. Clopton in the backfield with him. Nikoloff pitches it to Clopton. Clopton with running room. And he gets dropped at about the 30-yard line. And well pursued there by Jamison Hiddle, junior defensive back coming up big.
Came up hard, made a big hit. There was another big hit on the offensive side with their perimeter blocking. They're getting after it up front. And I'm happy to see both teams playing with some pride and some spunk.
And we are coming up on the end of the first quarter. All right, we'll be back to start the second quarter after this. North Central 14, Harrison 7 on the ISC Sports Network.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on. Savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Since 1939, Tipmont has powered the homes and the businesses that bring our communities to life. Since 2019, Wintech has connected you to the fast, reliable internet you deserve. Together, Tipmont Wintech provides local and superior service you know and trust. You help us deliver as a cooperative. We help you thrive as a community. And together, we make each other better when you join me for the ride.
Don't forget, Tipmont, proud supporter of high school athletics. Learn more about our super fast fiber internet from Tipmont at join.wintech.com as we start the second quarter on a 2nd down and 5. And the man who gets the carry for the Harrison Raiders is Sullivan Garrett. and he is brought down at the 38-yard line. So that is enough, they say, for a first down.
The Raiders are reaching down into that playbook now, and they're making some nice calls. That was an inside counter. You don't see that very often with some wide-out motion. Good call. They're hitting the Panthers in the right spots, and that's not a great thing.
And there's the throw out into the flat to Chase Gothrop, and Chase has got nowhere to go. Jaden Wakefield pursued it well for the Panthers.
Nice job of reading that and coming up. That's a safety making that play right about the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage. Nice job of jumping that and playing that game with intensity.
Just a gain of 2 on that, so that sets up second down, or actually they give him even less than that, so just 1, 2nd and 9. Harrison offense averaging 28 points a game, allowing 31. And for North Central on the other side, they're scoring 18 a game, but allowing 37. Nikoloff fires, catch made, brought down. Schneider-Pierre with a nice tackle on defense as the catch is made by Channing Glick on offense. 3rd down.
Continue to attack the perimeter. They caught him in a man-to-man coverage there. A little bit soft on the corner, but he jumped it pretty well. And the 3rd down, a very critical 3rd down here in this first drive of the second quarter.
Nikoloff clearly taking his time here, looking over at his head coach, Kyle Holderfield, for what to do. Man in motion, that is Gonzalez. Gonzalez ends up getting it. Gonzalez has speed, the first down and more. And Wakefield had to hold on for dear life, helped out as well by Hiddle. But it's a first down for the Raiders.
Again, they caught him in a man-to-man situation. It was one-on-one blocking on the perimeter. Those wideouts did a nice job. And good running start with that motion. And they're on a roll here. They found some things they can hurt the Panthers with.
That is a gain of 11. So Landon Nikoloff, senior quarterback, feeling confident. This is about to be the 6th play of the drive, a drive for Harrison that started at their own 25. And it is Clopton getting the carry here. Zion Clopton, not much room to work with. He got going with a full head of steam, but he got brought down really quick by Anton Ennis, who leads North Central in tackles for loss this year.
You know, he's been a stud up front. Every game that we've seen him play, he's a fine football player. I like to see him get better and better and better each week. Good job of jumping on that one because it was well blocked at the point of attack.
2nd down and 7 for Harrison. They struggled on their first offensive drive, but they have found some groove in their last 2. Nikoloff stepping up, avoids the pressure. He's got daylight and he fires. Got a man wide open down the middle of the field. And it is Chase Gothrop for the touchdown. And Harrison is an extra point away from tying it.
Well, that's the things you don't want to see. Certainly a defensive breakdown. He kind of jumped. He kind of stuttered maybe. The safety stuttered on that quarterback. It looked like he was going to run it. And then by that time, it was too late to recover. Big plays, you can't have them. Coverage breakdowns, you can't have them if you're trying to put a team away.
40-yard touchdown pass from Nikoloff to Gothrop. And here comes the extra point attempt from Robles.
Again,
and we have another issue. This might be on North Central. Yep, 2nd time they have been called for offsides on a PAT, but just as Harrison did last time, they do it again this time. They decline the penalty. The hold being done by Drew Henshin. He gets it down, the kick on its way, and he gets it through. So we are knotted up at 14 all with North Central about to get the ball back. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Raising Cane's. Hit the spot at Raising Cane's, where every chicken finger is hand battered and cooked to order. Every crinkle cut fry comes from grade A premium potatoes. Each thick sliced Texas toast is lightly brushed with Cane's garlic butter blend and grilled to golden brown perfection. And most importantly, where the secret recipe Cane sauce is made in restaurant every day. The Cane's box combo is sure to hit the spot and leave you craving more. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. We are also brought to you in part by Shear Brothers Realty. Curious as to how much your home is worth? The Shear Brothers team at United Real Estate will provide you with a no-cost, no-obligation market value report of your home. Call now, 317-255-7285. That is 255-7285, area code 317, Shear Brothers Realty. It's gut check time now for North Central. 14 unanswered here for Harrison to tie this game up.
Sure is. It's not easy. There's no easy days when you're trying to put together a program. They had them down 14-zip, and you want to see your team come on and put the hold to them, and instead it's gone the other way. We're making mistakes, busting coverages.
Robles with that deep onside there. That's not what he wanted. Tried to get it to one of the up men instead of one of the speedsters in the back end. And because it goes out of bounds, illegal procedure on Harrison, their first penalty of the night. So it's not that North Central's not getting starting field position that's favorable. They've had that every time, and they have it again. That Harrison scoring drive, by the way, 7 plays, 75 yards, 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
2 nice long drives for Harrison, coupled with some mishaps on defense. Things you have to get ironed out right now, and they're working hard on the board, trying to get everybody in the right spot.
North Central went 3 and out on their last possession, trying to avoid a similar fate this time. Chase Grove in the gun. Grove with a quick pass, caught by Brooks. Brooks turns on the speed, stays in bounds, and Brooks still with it into Harrison territory and finally brought down, but not after a fantastic run, which was finally ended by Colton Watts.
Beautiful job. That's how you regain that momentum. Extra effort. He was hit by several, kept his feet going, made a great play, and got those chains moving.
That is a gain of 18 yards and a first down for North Central. Grove back there. Brooks in the game, both Averett boys out there, and it's Tuajon Averett getting the carry with a nice little juke move, but he gets brought down at about the 41 by Gonzalez. That's a gain of 6, second down and 4.
Nice job, offensive attitude. They're coming out here and taking charge. He was just one cut away from breaking that one all the way.
Good response here by North Central, 2 plays, and they're already in Harrison territory. And off to Averett. Averett busting up, and he nearly scored. And Gonzalez with a shoestring tackle to prevent Tuajon Averett from going to the house.
Excellent job offensively, putting a little misdirection in there. That motion tends to slow people down. Quick hitter up the middle, and he is 2 in a row here where he's just a breath away from popping it.
That's a 14-yard gain, and already 2 first downs on this drive for North Central. As they try to regain the lead, they were up 14-0. Harrison came back and stormed up to tie it up at 14. Pitch to Averett. This is Demetrius Averett. Demetrius, nowhere to go. Harrison pursued it well that time. They were all over it. 2 guys there for the Raiders were Gabriel Maxwell and Clayton Daubenmeyer.
This is turning out to be the football game we expected. Both teams getting after it. They're playing with spirit, running to the football. Great defense on that play.
Loss of 1, second down and 11 from the 28-yard line. Brooks is going wide to the right. Demetrius in the slot. We've also got Schneider-Pierre in the game. Grove hit as he throws towards the end zone. Flag comes down. Catch is made for the touchdown. And this time it is Demetrius Averett. We got to see what the penalty flag is about, though. For the moment, it is a Panther touchdown. Officials are talking about it. Let's see what the call is.
Well, they did a nice job of setting that up. They brought their big fullback into the slot. It was a pure run formation. Got the safety to bite up, hit the post over the top, but it looks like it's coming back.
It is. It is coming back. Ineligible man downfield. Yeah, I had a feeling it wasn't going to stand because the flag was in the area where the offensive line is. And a lot of times when you see that happen, it's usually holding or an eligible man downfield or something like that. And it looks like the right tackle got too far downfield. Yep. So instead of it being a touchdown, it's now second down and longer. They bring it back to the 33. So it's second and about 6. Well, it's like about second and about 16. Grove setting up, screen pass. And that is a nice little play there that North Central is getting a lot out of. Jalen Amos down to the 11-yard line. And that is a gain of 27 yards, so that's the way to pick up some lost yardage.
It's hard to deny that speed, and they can hit you in so many different spots with quickness and speed. Good execution on that screen play. They don't run a screen very often, but when they do, it's very effective because it's hard to tackle those backs one-on-one out in that open field.
Jack Gonzalez has had to save so many plays for Harrison. If he doesn't make that tackle there, that's a touchdown. So it's first and 10 from the 11. So they can pick up a first down without scoring here. Grove firing, Brooks, end zone, leaping grab, incomplete. And no flag, good coverage there by Jerry McCray, 5'9", 150-pound senior defensive back who played it well.
Good job on the recovery. That was run all the way. He took one step in the wrong direction, a false step, but recovered well and played it well. Beautiful job on defense. Nice call, really. I like the way they're mixing up the play action and the run game and also being able to hit the flats. They're doing a nice job utilizing their talents.
Javen Brooks caught the first touchdown pass of the night, a 13-yarder to put North Central on the board on the opening drive. See if they go back to him here. Averett in motion. It is Tuajon Averett getting the carry, or rather that's Amos. Amos gets decked at the 11 for no gain, and the pursuit was fantastic by Noah Douglas.
Plugged it up, nowhere to go. He tried to bounce to the outside, and the pressure ran to the football, made the play. Evenly matched football game.
It has been. A lot of ups and downs early on. Third down and about 10 from the 11. Chase Grove and company taking their time here. We're coming up on 10 on the play clock. So there we go. They're going to have to get to the line, get set up, and hurry up here. Both teams have all three of their timeouts. Tuajon Averett back there. Grove fakes it, fires, catch made, might have a walk-in end zone. Touchdown! What a job there by Noah Ardillo Miller. Made himself available, caught it, bounced off a tackle, and got into the end zone.
Beautiful job. I was about to say this has got to be your best call of the day. They needed 6. They didn't want to settle for that. Caught him into man coverage with motion, and all gone. Great speed once again. Strikes. Beautiful job of recovering, regaining some momentum, and taking the lead.
That's an 8-play drive that lasted 3 minutes and 34 seconds and 65 yards. Extra point from Foles, and he got it. North Central back on top, 21-14. Harrison gets the ball when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Don't forget to start your morning at Roots Cafe, where the coffee's fresh, the breakfast is made with love, and everyone's greeted with a smile. For 17 years, we've been serving up breakfast, brunch, and lunch to our community. Open daily from 7 to 2, so come in, get comfortable, and feel right at home at Roots Cafe. So that touchdown pass that was caught by Noah Ardillo Miller, not only his first touchdown pass that he caught this season, but his first catch, period. So Colin Kofer really spreading it around here, trying to get as many guys involved as possible.
They have depth. There's lots of skill on the field and on the sideline. And all these are young guys that are getting great experience. They're learning enormously. And I love seeing it in a budding young program. Now I want to see this defense stop the mistakes, play the game fundamentally sound, and get a 3 and out.
Caleb Foles opts to squib it here, and it's picked up by one of the Harrison upmen. That is Isaac Sodalti. And Sodalti able to return it to about the 40-yard line. That is a 13-yard return. There's Foles heading over to the sideline. And Harrison, boy, neither team can complain about the starting field position they've had. It's been excellent all night because of the kicking game.
Those ground ball kicks are easy to return. You catch it on the run, on the move, and you get some momentum going. We saw 3 or 4 of the Panthers just flying by that ball carrier, coming down so hard. Got to break down and make that play, but I'm not so sure about the concept of the kickoff.
Sullivan Garrett in motion. The handoff goes to Clopton. He gets around the first wave of defenders and then is chased out of bounds by Avier Walker. And they spot him at the 44. That is a gain of 4, second down and about 6.
Good speed on the corner, but once again, we're seeing a deficiency in the defense. You've got to corner that football, make it break inside. Once it gets outside, you're asking for nothing but trouble. That's good fundamental defense here, and we need to crank up.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts at their disposal. Second down and 6. In motion comes Garrett. Snap, pitch to Garrett. Up the middle he goes. Garrett, right around midfield. He was wrestled down by Andrew Veach. That might be enough for a first down, and they are moving the chains.
Yeah, it's probably my oversight not taking a good look at this offensive line. They're doing a nice job up front. It's not easy to run that counter play up the middle, but you can't do it without getting good movement, and they're blocking some good people up front, so give credit to that offensive line.
1st and 10 for Harrison from the north central 49-yard line. And the snap, the fire, and Nikoloff with a rare miss. That's normally a throw he makes with ease, but he overshoots Chase Gothrop, and it's 2nd and 10.
Good coverage on the way. Took away the curl, broke on the flat, played it very, very well. Fundamentals.
There's head coach for the Harrison Raiders, Kyle Holderfield, helping out Nikoloff there. Landon Nikoloff going back to the gun. Each team has punted at once, but there's been plenty of scoring. Pitch to Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets blocking, gets the first down, and still going. Finally shoved out by Jaden Wakefield. Wakefield needed some help too, but boy, what a playmaker Jack Gonzalez is.
He has got some quick feet, and he runs the ball hard, and you can't overlook the perimeter blocking. They're very good up front with their blocking schemes and also in the perimeter.
That's a 13-yard gain. Fresh set of downs for the Raiders. Movement up front. And another penalty on North Central. Now they've had a couple that have gotten declined, but this one will most definitely be accepted. There's been just one penalty on Harrison tonight. That was the kickoff out of bounds. Now they're going to go from having 1st and 10 to 1st and 5, moving the ball to the 31.
That's one of those gnawing penalties that gnaws at a coach. You got the ball right there in front of you. Don't listen to the cadence. Watch the football. Don't give them an easy 5 yards. They're having enough trouble stopping them.
Clopton in the backfield gets the carry. Clopton spinning forward, and even though he was tackled by MJ McManus, the junior defensive lineman, he was still able to spin forward and get a first down out of it.
Found the weakness. They're able to block him up front. Running inside the tackles has been effective.
It's a gain of 7 for Harrison, and they trail by 7, but they are on the move. They started this drive back at their own 40. They've had the ball for over a minute. Their last scoring drive went for nearly 4 minutes. Nikoloff fakes, fires, catch made, and not much room after that. Good recovery by the Panther defense, and the man who leads the charge, as he often has, Jamison Hiddle, just wrestling him down.
Nice job. They're a much better secondary when they're playing zone. They can see the ball thrown and break on the football. Nice job there of eliminating a big play opportunity.
Channing Glick made that reception but had nowhere to go after it. And that's a guy you definitely want to keep contained if you are North Central. As Channing Glick has 5 receiving touchdowns this year and over 500 yards receiving. And they give it to Clopton. And there's that inside run again, Joe. It's a good productive play. Zabari Green with the North Central tackle.
They're doing a nice job at the point of attack. They're coming off the ball nice and hard and outnumbering them to that short side of the field.
Depending on, they're spotting it at the 18, so that makes it, should be 3rd and 4. The scoreboard says 2nd and 4, but the down marker's 3rd, so now they just changed it to match the down marker. There we go. Play clock winding down here. Maybe Kyle Holderfield's thinking, I want to use as much of the clock as possible and not give North Central the ball back with a lot of time, so they take their first timeout of the first half. While they do that, we'll let you know that the IndyCard Exchange will make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards and Pokemon cards as well. And the IndyCard Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. Plus, you can sign your kids up for the free IndyCard Exchange Kids Club, and if they're 13 or younger, find out more when you log on to IndyCardExchange.com. Also brought to you by the Indy Thunder, Indiana's premier beat baseball organization, which gives blind and visually impaired athletes a chance to compete at the national and international level. The Thunder are now 6-time World Series champs, including a perfect 26-0 season in 2025. They're looking for sponsors, volunteers, and even players for their 25th season in 2026. Contact Darnell Booker at 317-370-7231, and you can watch the Thunder anytime by logging on to iscsportsnetwork.com. What do you think they'll come up with out of this timeout, Joe?
Well, you know what? That's some good coaching to make sure you got the exact right play call. And there was a little distraction in getting that call in is why they had to take the timeout. But, yes, let's take the timeout. Let's get it right. This is critical for us going in at halftime.
Landon Nikoloff from the gun. Pitches it to the outside to Gonzalez. Gonzalez using that speed to his advantage as he marches even further into the red zone, brought down at the 9, a gain of 9.
Old school toss play. He hit that line of scrimmage with a burst, and the defense did a nice job of bottling it up and forcing it to the inside. The inside pursuit wasn't there. He had a full head of steam, and they're executing a very, very effective drive right before halftime.
Ashton Bonner makes the tackle. We are coming up on the 9th play of the drive. This drive is coming up on 4 minutes that they've had the football. Nikoloff has space. Nikoloff down at about the 3, depending on where they give him the spot. Jamison Hiddle able to make contact. So was Jaden Wakefield. And they spot it at the 4. It's a gain of 5. 2nd and goal from the 4. Nikoloff taking his time here. Boy, if you are Harrison, you're thinking let's use as much of the clock as possible, give nothing for North Central, and keep in mind, Harrison gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter because North Central got it to start the game, and Harrison won the toss and deferred. Coming in motion is Garrett, and not much room there. So the North Central defense for this play stands tall. Anton Innocent there on this tackle, as well as Hiddle. Now what do you do on third down? I wonder if North Central might call a timeout here. The clock is stopped, so somebody did something. Boy, nice play by Hiddle, just standing him up just outside the goal line. And North Central is using their first timeout of the first half, stopping the clock with 1:22 to go here in half number one. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Tipmont. Tipmont Fiber Internet Service has the reliable speeds you need to stream all the sports, news, shows, and movies you want. Visit join.wintech.com to learn more. And by Abstract, doing IT differently but making it simple. Abstract Technology Group does exactly that. Whether you're located in Indianapolis, Lafayette, or all points surrounding and in between, call 765-420-TECH or visit abstracttechgroup.com. We're Abstract, making it simple. Let's see how simple Harrison keeps it coming out of this timeout.
They're doing a nice job mixing up their play calling, but North Central was able to stop that inside counter there, and that was a huge move.
Gonzalez comes in motion. The snap, the pitch to Gonzalez. He looks for the edge. He has the edge. Touchdown Raiders. A 2-yard scamper for Jack Gonzalez, making his impact felt on both sides.
That was certainly a scamper. They just called that series perfectly. Hit him in the exact right spots, mixed it up. A lot of misdirection involved, and beautiful job and sealing the deal there at the end before the halftime.
Extra point away from tying it. Robles out there. The holder is Drew Hinchin. Snap, down, kick, up, and it is made. So it is 21-all. North Central gets the ball back soon with 1:18 left in the half. We're back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network. There's a look at the Harrison fan base that has traveled well to this one. North Central with their homecoming night. Harrison trying to spoil it. They've had 2 drives that have gone almost 4 minutes in length. That last scoring drive they just had, 11 plays, 60 yards, 3 minutes and 58 seconds off the clock. Jack Gonzalez rushes it in from 2 yards away, and the extra point ties it up at 21 apiece. But, Joe, plenty of time for North Central to work with here.
There sure is, and they have been explosive on offense. They have not had a rough time moving the football, using all their speed, hitting the flats, all the things they could do offensively. The problem tonight is certainly not with explosive offense.
Robles opting to just squib it down the middle. Takes an odd hop. North Central able to field it, though, and this could be a problem for Harrison, as running it back is Jalen Amos. We've seen his speed in the open field, and he runs that out to midfield for a 30-yard return before he's finally brought down by David Warner.
Another example of those ground ball kicks. They get a good head of steam running, and it's tough to stop when you've got people that can fly like that. Great field position. Got a minute to go, 50 yards, and we've seen them do that in the past, and looking forward to it right now.
Jeremiah Gillespie in the game. He's at the top of your screen. Both Tuajon and Demetrius Averett in as well. Grove from the gun. Rolling. Now he fires out into the flat. Catch made in Harrison territory by Demetrius Averett, but not for very much yardage, as he is brought down there by Gabriel Maxwell. That's a gain of 3. And it's 2nd and 7, but less important than the down and distance is the time. 50 seconds and counting. Grove. Grove firing across the middle. Catch made by Brooks. Brooks inside the 30 and shoved out of bounds. Finally pushed out by Gonzalez, and boy, how many times have they gone to Brooks when they need a big play, Joe?
And that's a good man to go to. And the up front protection was excellent in that. He had nice time to throw it, nice clean pocket, read the coverage, delivered perfectly. Yeah, this is a good offense, and you could tell they've worked this 2-minute drill to death coming up to this football game.
That's a 24-yard gain to the Harrison 23. North Central has led by as many as 14 at 14-0, but Harrison has come back to tie it at 14, and then they tied it at 21. So here we are, deadlocked. Grove stepping up under duress, takes off, fires, catch made Brooks. Brooks inside the 15, and he gets out of bounds. Wasn't sure if he would get out initially, but he did that time. Finally running him out was Jerry McCray, and they are spotting that ball at the 14. So a 9-yard pickup, it looks like. And now they just signaled first down.
Good heads-up play. Super job by the QB, staying in the pocket, letting things develop, and excellent by the wide receiver. You're right. It looked like he was not going to be able to get out of bounds. Turned out he knew what he was doing all along.
That's Tuajon Averett with Grove back there. Grove, it's away. Grove has all kinds of running room in front of him with a nice move and is taken down at about the 3-yard line. Gonzalez, yet again, has to save a touchdown, but now the clock is running. They've got 2 timeouts if they want to stop the clock, and they do. So they use their second to last timeout of the first half. And what a nice little move here by Chase Grove. Chase Grove looking a lot like he did, Joe, in week 1 against Brebeuf.
He is. He's playing with confidence. Things are going his way. There's really been no stopping this offense. They had that 1 3 and out, but other than that, it's been excellent. And I would like to see him put that football away. Hold it out there is a little scary. But other than that, he's executing very well. And I like the poise that this whole team has seen on this 2-minute drill.
Kathy Logan from the Paul Logan Foundation is supposed to be our guest at halftime. We always visit with a member of the Paul Logan Foundation at the half of every game this year for North Central. So be interesting to have her come on by. Can't wait to get her thoughts. I'm sure looking at her right now in the press box, I know she's a nervous wreck with how this first half has gone.
Yeah, punch it in, please. Punch it in. She's going to be a lot happier on the mic with a lead going into halftime.
Now they've just brought back in Noah Ardillo Miller, junior running back who just scored his first touchdown of the season earlier in this game and caught his first pass of the year. Grove goes up to the line. Harrison looked like they were all confused, and they just had to call a timeout. So that's a good call there by the North Central coaching staff because they had Harrison totally flummoxed as to what they were calling.
Very good. Very good. Offensive has been smooth. Got some things to work on defensively, fundamentally defensively over halftime, but they sure have been explosive with the offensive side of the ball.
North Central's drives this half, 5-play, 35-yard scoring drive. Then they had a 9-play scoring drive. Then they went 3 and out. They scored on the touchdown to Noah Ardillo Miller, which capped off an 8-play drive. For Harrison, they went 3 and out on their opening drive, then had a 5-play scoring drive. Then a 7-play drive, which ended in a 40-yard touchdown, capped off by the previous drive they had, which went 11 plays and 60 yards. So that's how everybody has scored tonight. Grove with the quick snap and the handoff to Ardillo Miller, and Ardillo Miller is into the end zone for the second time tonight. And he is one happy camper, and I do not blame him.
Love it. Good job coming up front. They really spread the formation, got the defense to widen out with them. This is their short yardage back, and I could see why. He hit that hole with power, with explosion. Hand it to the ref, and let's go to the sideline. Beautiful job, 3-0.
There was a flag in the end zone. I don't know what that was about. Referee's picking it up.
5'5", 190.
Yeah.
Isn't that a nice short yardage back?
Sure is.
Fireplug powered it in there. Great job. Huge points going into halftime at this situation. Not only makes the coaches happy, but Mrs. Logan is going to be very happy also.
That drive, by the way, took 56 seconds. So ineligible, it looks like penalties on Harrison. And they are saying that they will enforce the penalty on the kickoff. So
that's got to make it. That makes you feel so good as a coach. They haven't had much opportunity at all this year to work on a 2-minute drill on the field during a game, and they executed perfectly with poise and execution, and great job. Great job.
Foles makes the extra point. North Central on top by 7 again. They've either led or been tied with in this game as Foles gets ready to go kick off the extra point. Be interesting to see how they play this kick. Probably don't want to give Harrison much room to run with it. And if you're Harrison, you're thinking, let's get some good return yardage here. Both teams have certainly had good returns on the night. Get yourself in position to maybe have a play or two where you can heave it towards the end zone before the end of the half. Homecoming for North Central. And that penalty by the Harrison Raiders, massive. So instead of kicking it off at the 40-yard line, North Central gets to kick it off from the Harrison 45. So if Foles can get some good leg into this, you're looking at a touchback and then forcing Harrison to have to go the length of the field.
In 13 seconds.
Yeah, which not many high school offenses can do. Let's see how Foles opts to play this. We've seen squib kicks. We've seen deep on sides. We've seen it all a lot in this first half. And here is the kickoff. High, end over end, right near the goal line, but playable. And well, he was in the end zone, so they give it a touchback anyway. So for Gabriel Maxwell. All right, so 13.4 to go for Harrison. Now, to get the ball to start the third quarter, that's the case for them since they are getting it to start the third. Do they take the kneel down or do they opt to be aggressive with one timeout remaining? Let's see how they play this from the 20.
It will be an interesting decision, but they have not shown, the Panthers have not shown the ability to stop them. So we'll see what they decide to do here, but there are some certain things that need to be done with this North Central defense over the halftime fundamentally.
Sullivan Garrett is wide to the left. Now he comes in motion. Snap, he gets it. Garrett stepping away. And then he is run down. So excellent pursuit by North Central's defense, Jaden Wakefield. And he puts an exclamation point on what is the end of the first half of play. And it was an exciting first half at that. North Central on top of Harrison in a great game so far, 28-21 with no shortage of offense. You're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
Since 1939, Titmont has powered the homes and the businesses that bring our communities to life. Since 2019, Wintech has connected you to the fast, reliable internet you deserve. Together, Titmont Wintech provides local and superior service you know and trust. You help us deliver as a cooperative. We help you thrive as a community. And together, we make each other better when you join me for the ride.
At halftime, it is 28-21, North Central with the lead over Harrison. I'm John Herrick along with Joe Polizzi. Great to have you with us on the ISC Sports Network. And our halftime brought to you in part by Abstract Technology Group, doing IT differently, making it simple. That is Abstract Technology Group. by LIUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Labor's District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA. By Raising Cane's, game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love. Taylor's Pub and Grill, come for the game and stay for the good times at Taylor's Pub and Grill. And by Wabash College, schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. This is our Taylor's Pub halftime show. Taylor's Pub and Grill at Greenbrier and Nora is your neighborhood pub where the drinks are cold, the crowd's electric, and the welcome is always warm. We've been serving Indy's North Side for over 30 years. Come for the game, stay for the good times at both 86th and Ditch and 86th and Westfield, right next to North Central High School. As I said, I'm John Herrick. I'm glad to be joined now by Kathy Logan from the Paul Logan Foundation. Kathy, your thoughts on what was a pretty exciting first half there?
It was a very exciting first half. We need to play a little bit better defense. So, but I'm liking the score so far.
Yeah, and also homecoming.
Yes.
Everybody's excited. A great atmosphere at North Central.
Yes, absolutely. A beautiful night, great atmosphere, lots of families here. As Dr. Taylor wants us to grow Panthers, we're growing Panthers, and they're all out in full force tonight. So it's a wonderful night.
And anything special coming up with the Paul Logan Foundation you want people to know about?
Right now, we've been working on a few things. We've got it's been 5 years since he passed, and so we're trying to make something kind of special coming up. Probably, we originally said the fall, and then we realized who were we fooling, because the fall, it's football season, and we're all busy, and that just can't happen. So probably more springtime that we'll do something big in memory of Paul. But, of course, we're still just reaching out to the communities, asking for their support. We just had, 2 weeks ago, we had the girls soccer puts on a big Paul Logan Invitational. We've got volleyball coming up with their invitational. Then this winter, of course, we'll have wrestling and boys and girls basketball, Paul Logan Invitationals. And then, of course, they always do a big thing in the spring to honor Paul for softball and baseball as well. So, yeah.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Kathy Logan, our guest right now, the widow of the late Paul Logan, athletic director, former athletic director here at North Central, who died during the pandemic. But Kathy, I'm sure, do you hear all about Paul from all these athletic directors around the MIC and the rest of Central Indiana? It's like Paul is gone in one sense, but not necessarily gone in another.
Absolutely. It's amazing to me, and I will have to say very, very touching when Paul passed away. Every stadium in the state of Indiana the next day turned on their stadium lights in honor of Paul. And even the night he passed away, one of my kids had gone out to meet somebody, and they said, "Mom, you've got to get in the car and you've got to come with us." And I said, "I just want to stay home." And they said, "No, Mom, you have to see this." And this entire parking lot out here was completely full of families and student athletes, and it was raining, and they were all out of their cars. And it was just an amazing warm feeling to know that he was so loved and so touched so many people. And I do kind of chuckle for the fact that none of my kids, well, Sammy, she's always been into football. And I mean, the boys clearly were into football, and they played football and basketball here, but they didn't want to go into like teaching and coaching kind of situation. And they saw the difference that Paul made in so many athletes and how many lives that he touched. And they both went back, and now they're both, Michael's, of course, the athletic director at Northview Middle School, and Will is a business teacher here at the high school, and he coaches on the football team here, assistant head coach, and then is on the offensive side of the ball. And they absolutely love leaving his legacy, it's carrying on in the generations. And Sammy, of course, is still in football. She went on to IU and was a football manager for 4 years, and then she got her master's from Cincinnati. And now it's kind of funny because now she works at Purdue in recruiting. So it's a job, and she, yes, absolutely. And yeah, she really, is, not that really go from a Hoosier to a Boiler, but she did, and that's okay. We love it, we're so glad that she's there, and just the amount of impact that Paul not only, made on my 3 children. And I always told my children when he passed, I said, there's more than just you three who've lost a father figure, and he was a father figure to so many student athletes, and the 10 days, the 12 days he was in the hospital, and the amount of people that called and contacted us and asked me how he was doing, from Super Bowl winners to, a couple guys that had unfortunately made bad choices and were incarcerated. But, they all, it was on the news, and each and every one of them, contacted me, touched base with me, and still to this day. And I do laugh. Today is tomorrow is the 30-year class reunion for the class of 95. And they've all been posting pictures on Facebook this week with all their throwbacks from football. And Paul and I got married in 1991. So that was my first group of boys that I can tell you were my honest to God all 4 years of seeing them as freshmen and seeing them graduate as seniors. And it's been a lot of fun watching them, seeing them post pictures and their memories this week and talking about Paul. And, it's been a lot of fun. And like I said, people always ask me all the time, did you have a favorite team? I can't ever have a favorite team. I think every team with the season we're in is my favorite team, and just a lot of them. But it's just, and then somebody else asked me when he passed away, they said, well, what are you going to do every Friday night, or Saturday night during basketball? And I said, for 35 years, this is all I knew. And so I don't know anything else. And so it's kind of nice that the kids are still here so that I would still be here, because I don't know what else. This is my life, and this is my family, and this is our community, and this has been an amazing place to grow our children, and it's an amazing place to give back to what Paul did for everyone. So for that, we greatly appreciate not only North Central, but Washington Township and our former superintendents, to our new superintendent, Dr. Taylor. It's just been a wonderful thing to live on his legacy. So,
on behalf of North Central Athletics and the Paul Logan Foundation, Kathy Logan, our halftime guest. And Kathy, you mentioned the parking lot, the homecoming. There's been a lot of renovation that's been going on here, a lot of improvement. I'm sure Paul would love to see how much it's been improving. For those who don't know, how much is this campus changing for the better?
Oh, 110%. I mean, we were always, and that was one of Paul's big things, was like we would go to other schools and we would drive around their complexes and their, facilities, and he'd say, oh my gosh, we're so behind, and people want to know why we're not progressing or, building the athletes or,
right.
even the students just in general. And it's like the facilities of these schools were amazing, and now we have finally gotten to where they are, or I hate to say this, but they were, and now they're upping it even more. But, we are just so appreciative that a community passed the referendums and got, where we are today. And, we have this beautiful field house that we've named after Paul. And, just that. And it's funny because a lot of the stuff that has been happening, Paul was really involved in and helped sit in on with all the architectural meetings. And as a matter of fact, he even, when he passed away and we went into his office, the blueprints for the field house were actually sitting on his desk.
Wow.
And he just couldn't wait to see it. And it disappoints me that he's not here to see it. And I think he would be so happy. And it's amazing that his name is on the building to honor him. And I know people tell me all the time he's got the best seat in the house to see it. And I know that he does, but I wish that I have said over and over, I would give a million times over for that to say Panther Fieldhouse and have Paul here on the sidelines versus his name on it. But in the meantime, his legacy will live on forever, and that's what we're here for. So, for sure.
Kathy, thank you so much for joining us at halftime.
Absolutely.
And good luck to the Panthers in the second half.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Kathy Logan from the Paul Logan Foundation. We will have the Wabash College halftime trivia question for you and much more when we return on the ISC Sports Network.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first started learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
Since 1939, Tipmont has powered the homes and the businesses that bring our communities to life. Since 2019, Wintech has connected you to the fast, reliable internet you deserve. Together, Tipmont Wintech provides local and superior service you know and trust. You help us deliver as a cooperative. We help you thrive as a community. And together, we make each other better when you join me for the ride.
Big thanks to Kathy Logan from the Paul Logan Foundation to join us at halftime. Folks, if you didn't get a chance to listen to that interview, I highly recommend you go back to ISCSportsNetwork.com, download the app, go back and find this game on our website or on our app and listen to that. A lot of great stuff that Kathy mentioned about what's coming up with the Paul Logan Invitational. So many invitationals that he has in his honor. An athletic direct, I would say, you know, Joe, as Joe Polizzi rejoins us, and Joe, I would say that as far as legendary athletic directors go in the state of Indiana, Paul Logan was right up there, so well known, not just in the athletic director ranks across Indiana, but in other states as well, because his legacy traveled a long way.
He sure did. He was well known everywhere, in not only the athletic director field, but in the football coaching field. I mean, he was on the board of the High School Athletic Association coaches and was a part of all the clinics that he put on, and just a great guy across the board. Had athletics all over him, just walked around. You knew he was involved in football, and just one of those tough, strong, smart guys that make our game great.
Yep, and his family is certainly carrying on his legacy in a way that he would definitely be proud of. And we can't wait for ISC Sports Network to be over there at the Paul Logan Fieldhouse to bring you a lot of other basketball games coming up once we get into basketball season. North Central leads it 28-21 over Harrison at the half of this one. Along with Joe Polizzi, I'm John Herrick. A big thanks to Vince Morellis, our technical director, and the rest of our fantastic crew on the ISC Sports Network. Now it comes the point of the halftime show where we give you the Wabash College halftime trivia questions. So, the Little Giants open up NCAC play this weekend at the College of Wooster. Since joining the league in football in the fall of 2000, how many league titles has Wabash won, Joe? Is it A, 3, B, 5, C, 7, or D, 9?
I'm going to say C7.
Close. The answer is D, 9. And don't forget that tickets for the 131st Monon Bell Classic go on sale next Monday. You can watch the game right here on ISC Saturday, November 15th. And be sure to schedule your visit. Log on today, wabash.edu. So, yeah, an incredible 9 league titles for the Wabash College Little Giants. That's not an easy league to win either.
No.
And the fact that they've been able to do that 9 times is something special.
It is amazing, and I thought 7 was a high.
Yeah,
because that is a dominance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fitting. That's a traditionally great program, always well coached, get great kids. Just so excited about what they do there.
It is homecoming for the North Central Panthers tonight, and the Harrison Raiders have brought out a good showing as well. Harrison has never led in this game, but they have come close a few times. They've tied the game at 14 and then at 21, and they are going to get the ball to start the third quarter. Joe, we had a feeling that when we looked at both these teams, and clearly defensively they have both struggled, but we also have to give credit to both offenses in the way they've played as well.
They really did. After the way it started 14-zip, it looked like North Central was going to have their way, and they were playing so well defensively, but they have done a great job, Harrison has, in making their offensive adjustments, executing their offense, and really distributing the ball to a lot of very, very talented young men.
So 28-21, your halftime score, advantage North Central. When we come back, we'll break down how we got to this point, and we'll give you some first half highlights and much more as well. You're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
You get this really close interaction, not only with the professor, you also get a connection with the other students.
It holds you accountable. You stay on top of your work and you show up to class, you put in the effort.
You're never gonna have a day where you're like, oh, I think I can get away with maybe not talking so much or maybe not doing this reading. There's really no option for that at Wabash because your professors know exactly who you are and they know exactly how to push you to make sure you're pushing yourself.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Since 1939, Tipmont has powered the homes and the businesses that bring our communities to life. Since 2019, Wintech has connected you to the fast, reliable internet you deserve. Together, Tipmont Wintech provides local and superior service you know and trust. You help us deliver as a cooperative. We help you thrive as a community. And together, we make each other better when you join me for the ride.
It is halftime here at North Central. This is week 5 of the high school football season. North Central 1-3. Harrison is 2-2 on the year, trying to figure out a way to get back on the winning side. Both these teams coming off losses from last week, and this is just the 4th time in the last 40 years that North Central and Harrison have played each other. North Central has won 2 of the previous 3 meetings, and this is the first time these 2 football programs have played each other since 2000. And back in 2000, that was a decisive North Central victory by a count of 58-14. So far, some other scores to keep in mind: the Warren Central Warriors and the Ben Davis Giants. That game is at the half, and Warren Central has a 17-14 lead there. Number 1, Brownsburg is in action against Fishers, and Brownsburg has a 28-7 lead on that one. So just a couple of other high school scores to let you know about. So it's a busy time of year for certain. Also, for those of you who maybe didn't see this, it was the big news, I think, coming out last week is that Center Grove and Carmel, Joe, are going to be rejoining the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference. And, in 2021, they were both voted out. We thought they were going to end up in a different conference, and then they didn't end up in a conference. Had to play some teams from Ohio and Kentucky to round out the schedule. And I think it's good that they're coming back in.
I think so, too. I'm very excited about seeing it. I just know that just compounds the chore in front of Coach Kofer to get things going. You bring those 2 powerhouses back in, and he's going to build this program here, but that's going to make things a little bit tougher. More time in the weight room. Those are 2 traditionally very strong and physical teams coming in, but I'm sure he's up for the task. But it certainly adds strength to that, which is already an impossible conference.
One thing we did see about Center Grove, they are playing Trotwood Madison tonight, and Center Grove has the lead at the half of that one, 21-8. So don't forget, folks, one thing that's great about the ISC Sports Network, we have so many games that we are carrying on our air at the same time. And one game that's also going on right now, Western Boone and North Montgomery. Western Boone just scored, so they're about to go up 21-0. So they are in good command of that game. So just keep that in mind. Lots of and Carmel leads their game 35-0. Carmel is playing Columbus North and leading that one 35-0. So, Joe, are you surprised by that? That Carmel is that dominant in that game?
You know what? I just know Coach Wright was going to come in there and make things happen. He has won wherever he's gone. Carmel's always had good people. I think they're a little more just naturally more strong and physical than the Columbus team. But, yeah, Carmel's they're a team to be reckoned with, and that guy has been so successful everywhere he's gone. There's no question in my mind that it was going to happen, but this is pretty quick, actually.
With it being homecoming tonight, Joe, what for those people who don't quite understand what it's like for a football coach or the football program, what is a homecoming event like this like for A, the home team who's trying to celebrate it, but B, for the visiting team who's trying to come in and spoil it?
You know what? It's always it's tough to coach a game like this because there's our distractions that aren't normally part of a player's week, and certainly game night. The distractions that can also, offset some of your intensity about playing the game. You're thinking about this, you're thinking about that, but it does disturb that a little bit. It also it's very, very difficult because normally for the opponents, the home team is jacked up and they're more energetic than ever to get a homecoming win. Nobody wants to fall flat on their face on homecoming. But another thing that is an interesting factor in it is you get a little bit longer of a halftime.
Yes.
So you can work on some things, and that makes things balance out.
Well, North Central had 21 points last week in their 55-21 loss to Lawrence North. This is their most points that they have had since their Week 1 win over Brebeuf, and they lead at 28-21 over Harrison. We'll have the first half highlights for you and much more when we return next on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing Crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking, honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today and save up to $300 on a new water heater installed.
So it is halftime here at this one. North Central 28, Harrison 21. There we told you earlier that it was Western Boone 21-0 at last count, and our fantastic work by our ISC Sports Network crew to show that in the bottom left of your screen there. Western Boone ahead of North Montgomery 28-6. So here's how this game came to be at this point. Harrison won the toss. They chose to defer. North Central got the ball first, and what an opening drive they had. 5 plays, 35 yards. There's Demetrius Averett, one of the big plays he made on that opening drive, and Javen Brooks with the catch from Chase Grove from 13 yards out. That made it 7-0. They forced a Harrison punt, and then on the next drive, North Central would score again. Demetrius Averett 5 yards out, made it 14-0, but of course, Harrison's been explosive on offense all season long, and they come right back to get down the field. Zion Clopton with a 27-yard touchdown run there to get within a score, and then the running game again started to pay dividends after they forced a North Central punt, and this play was a strike as the quarterback for Harrison, Landon Nikoloff, able to get it down the field to a wide-open Chase Gothrop, and that tied the game. But this North Central offense, and we were looking forward to it, Joe, at the start of the year. We had a feeling that the Averett boys, Demetrius and Tuajon Averett, would be a big factor, and boy, they have. And then they get this weapon from Noah Ardillo Miller, their junior running back, who didn't have a catch or a touchdown coming into this game, and now he has 2 touchdowns in this game alone.
They found a spot for him, short yardage offense. He is a fire plug, very, very powerful, moves his feet well. There's so much speed on that team. I'm glad they're able to capitalize on tonight.
Want to say a thank you to our halftime sponsors. In part, the Fountain Room, voted one of America's 50 most beautiful restaurants. That is the Fountain Room. Also by the Gridiron Foundation, growth, development, purpose. Find out more at gridiron.org. By the IndyCard Exchange, see if you can make money off of your collection and find out how at indycardexchange.com. By LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing and drains. And by Tipmont, super fast fiber internet now available in Tippecanoe County. Get started today at join.wintech.com. So, with it being homecoming, Joe, a lot longer of a halftime for both of these teams. What do you think you need to work on from their perspectives? Let's start with North Central.
Well, North Central had plenty of time to get on the blackboard or a dry erase board, whatever they're using down there, and really draw up what's been hurting them defensively. Yes, Harrison has a diverse offense. They can hit you in a number of places. So the emphasis for North Central is just to play good fundamental defense. Be in the right spot. Make the ball hit in the right spot. Protect the edge. Cover the corners so that ball bends back to your pursuit. Just all the basic fundamentals that were evident early on, but they kind of got away from them, and it was just probably plenty of good time for them to make those corrections and emphasize those points. Just do your job and play good, solid defense.
And then if you're Harrison, boy, you've had some moments where it looked like you might seize control, and you haven't quite done it yet. But what do you got to do to slow down this North Central offense?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be difficult. I think the answer is going to be to continue to pressure them, continue to make them throw quick to the outside, and use your screens. But they're going to need to bottle up that speed by putting the pressure on the offense.
Well, we mentioned to you also at halftime, North Central's opponent next week is Carmel. And Carmel is all over Columbus North at the half, 35-0. So that game reaching running clock status. So North Central, boy, their schedule is absolutely difficult. A 32-game losing streak coming into this season. They ended that with a win over Rebuff to start the year. But then, as we outlined at the top of the broadcast, 3 straight games against very tough teams in Hamilton Southeastern, Warren, and Lawrence North. And Caleb Foles kicks off. Probably one of his deepest kickoffs of the night, and it is returned well here by Harrison's Gabriel Maxwell, as has really every kickoff. I think really the first kicker that's going to get that ball in the end zone for a touchback will give his team a huge advantage, Joe.
Exactly. They are flying down. There's no problem with the effort on this kickoff team. It's just they're running past things. They're not breaking down and squeezing the ball. But you got to love the effort. But starting on the 40, sure is nice if you're the offensive coach.
No doubt about it. A 60-yard field that you have to go through to try to tie this game up. And that is Landon Nikoloff sending Channing Glick in motion. The handoff. And Zion Clopton, who is a tough as nails running back, able to, well, actually, it wasn't him. It was close. It was Isaac Soldati. Soldati with his first carry of the night, senior, able to get to the 46-yard line, picking up 6, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, I think their plan was to come off that football. They've had success. If you're going to get 6.5, 7 yards on a first down run, you're going to keep that up and keep pounding on that defensive front.
Now they've got Clopton back there with Soldati, but they fake it to Soldati, rolling, option, left, out of bounds. So he tried to pitch it back on the option. So They call it incomplete on the pass out. That's where the more he had it, the more at risk something bad was going to happen there.
Absolutely. Well, I think they're seeing that toward the end of the first half, North Central played a lot of man-to-man coverage, which was a problem for them. But the fact that they adjusted now by running some option will keep North Central out of the man-to-man. I think they're better in a zone as it is.
Well, so they're saying that was a pitch and a catch and then a fumble out of bounds. So because they're ruling it a fumble out of bounds, it's a 4-yard gain to midfield, and it's a first down. So that's a break for Harrison. Nikoloff keeps, and Lennon Nikoloff doesn't get very much on this play. He was tackled by Avier Walker. They spot him at the 46. So second down and 6 after that 4-yard pickup.
Well, they're getting such good movement up front. That offensive line is skilled. They're very talented. They're blocking the right people, and that makes a big difference. But they're going 4, 5, 6 yards before the first contact is made, and that's just a tribute to an offensive line flying off the ball.
Nikoloff trying to spread things out here a little bit, sends Garrett in motion. Garrett gets it. Garrett has blocking in front of him and is shoved out by Hiddle. So Jamison Hiddle, who has probably the most football name of all time. When your last name is Hiddle, you know you can level out the punishment. And he's just shy of the first down marker.
They have found their stride offensively. Inside, outside, they're able to hit them everywhere. A little quarterback run, a little quarterback option. They've got an offense that makes you play sound, fundamental, task-oriented defense, and you can't afford any breakdowns.
Big 3rd and 1 for both teams here. In motion comes Glick. And Nikoloff in trouble, but able to break out of it and get the first down. And then Schneider-Pierre, who tackles him, tries to strip the ball away, but Nikoloff says, nope, I'm holding on.
Great effort by the QB, and you mentioned it early on, and you've done it since. He's very poised. He's very polished. Nice senior. You know how that is when you get a senior quarterback, and he is certainly earning respect tonight.
Nikoloff with 11 passing touchdowns this season, 4 rushing. He gets the snap here, hands it off to Clopton. Clopton has room. In fact, he had room until he ran into his own guy. Hiddle was able to greet him there. They give him the 32. That's a gain of 6.
Yeah, they're doing a super job up front, and they are wearing down the big boys of North Central Panthers. Those big 3 down front are being challenged.
Another second down and short. They are really winning the battle on first down. Zion Clopton in at running back. You've got Chase Gothrop on the right side, who's at the bottom of your screen. Throw. Oh, he threaded the needle and got it right to Jacob Schwartz. Schwartz with his first catch of the night. It is a big one as he's able to get some yardage after the catch as well. Chased out near the 20. They give him the 21 for an 11-yard gain.
Good combination, throwing and passing. Hit that open seam right there where the linebacker vacated. And you're right, after the catch, he's got some effort, doesn't he?
Chris Benjamin, the defensive back in space for North Central, almost had an early Christmas present, but the throw was just where it needed to be for Nikoloff. This drive already lasting nearly 3 minutes, and before that, a whistle. And this is really the first big mistake that they've made on offense. So false start on Harrison, backs them up 5. That's just their second penalty of the night. The other one was a kickoff out of bounds in the first half. So 1st and 10 just became 1st and 15, backing them up to the 26.
I got to give them credit. After that opener, the way it started, 14-zip, they looked like they were outmatched. Mm-hmm. But they have battled back and used some good offensive ingenuity. And plus, they are blocking well up front.
Nikoloff giving it to Gonzalez this time. And Gonzalez, nowhere to go. Normally when he gets it, he's a yards after the run or catch machine, but not this time. Colton Abitar-Connor, who leads North Central in tackles, able to make that stop. And they say no gain, so second down and 15.
That's what's going to happen. The LB steps up with authority in that gap. Made a big play.
8.5 to go in the third. Firing, catch made by Channing Glick, and Glick still going, taking defenders with him down to the 9-yard line. And Glick with a 17-yard completion.
Quick slant, nice delivery by the QB, hit it right in the right seam. Good effort after the catch. They're just picking apart the zone and taking advantage of man. They've got it rolling offensively.
First and goal from the 10. Glick averaging 13 yards of reception. Got 17 there. Pitch to Gonzalez. Gonzalez using the edge. Anton Ennis hits him and rides him down, but not before he picks up, it looks like 6. And they're spotting it at around the 4. So we have seen 11 plays on this drive here for Harrison. So the 12th play is coming up as time continues to wind off this third quarter clock.
And they're doing such a nice job mixing it up. That's an old school toss play that they've run a couple times, and it's very successful. They run it deep, and that back turns upfield with a great head of steam and splashes that line of scrimmage effectively.
Isaac Soldati back in the game. Gonzalez in motion. He falls. Nikoloff in trouble, spins out of it, rolls, still going, gets a block and scores. What a run by Landon Nikoloff to run in his 5th rushing touchdown of the season for the Harrison Raiders.
I think we got a clip on the corner here. Yes. Blocking the back, clip, whatever it's called. But they sealed that corner illegally.
Wow. Lucky break for North Central. So Harrison, that only had 1 penalty all first half long, they've now had 2 on this drive. And now, instead of having the ball at the 4, you back them up towards the edge of the red zone.
Big play, gives the defense a little breathing room. Nice job being in position to make that play.
So instead of the ball at the 4 or potentially a touchdown, you have to go back to the 4. Looks like the 13. So second and goal from there. Nikoloff firing, and it tipped up into the air, nearly intercepted. What a job by Wakefield. Jaden Wakefield steps up and knocks that ball down for a huge defensive play.
Wow, would that have been a turnaround if he was able to get his hands on that? Great job on the break. Quarterback missed the safety play. He tried to hit that slant again, and we had a guy standing right there. Ooh, would that have been a game changer?
Third pass deflection of the season for Wakefield. Now a huge third and goal. Got to think this might be 2-down territory from this point. Pitch, Garrett. Nowhere to go after he gained a few. So that penalty for Harrison looms large as Jaden Wakefield able to bring him down. So how about Wakefield getting the pass deflection and then coming back to make this tackle on that run?
Nice job on the support and a very nice job on the force of the play. They got some penetration. They made that ball bubble back and gave the safety time to come up and make a big hit.
And it looks like they are sending on the field goal unit. And they are. Robles has gone, let's see here, 14 of 15 on PATs. He has not attempted a field goal this year until now. From this distance, it's a 28-yarder. The kick is on its way, and it hits the upright. It hits the upright. It was a good hold. It looked like the kick was good, but then at the very last moment, it doinks off the upright, and we stay with a North Central 7-point lead.
Wow. Good job of standing firm in there, playing well on second and third down, forcing that kick. I thought it was through. I stopped looking, and it doinked.
And it was loud. We could hear that from up here. See? Don't forget the Shear Brothers team at United Real Estate is the only sales team that offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call for details, 317-255-7285. So North Central Panther Nation breathing a collective sigh of relief after that. They get the ball from the 20 with 6:18 to go, a drive that lasted over 5 minutes but netted no points. And handoff, not much there. Wow, was the Harrison defense all over that. And the first guy there for the Raiders in big fashion, Damiano Hopkins, a senior defensive lineman, just putting an end to that run from Averett. Pursued it well. Back to the 17-yard line for a loss of 3. It is second down and about 13. Grove trying to spread it out. Averett in motion, gets it to Tuajon Averett. Tuajon with some blocking, picks up the lost yardage back and much more. Tuajon still going, spinning, and finally brought down near midfield. The man who finally gets him is Noah Douglas, but that is the athleticism of Tuajon Averett.
Amazing, because defense was in position to make that play. They had it protected outside, inside, and pressure coming after it, and he just outran it. Don't tell me they're walking this one back.
Well, the flag is near the 35, and ouch, yep. So penalties from both teams here to start the third quarter that are looming large. Harrison had the clipping penalty, and North Central's got a block in the back penalty. So Tuajon Averett had a great play that he was able to get near midfield, but because of the penalty, that backs him up to the 26-yard line.
Unfortunate, yes, but you know what? He's got a lot more coming. Once he gets his hands on the ball, you should probably coach your guys. Don't touch anybody. Let him go. Let him run.
Or they'll say, just get in the way of someone, you know?
Exactly. Keep your hands in and body him up.
So second down and about 5 after all of that. Snap, handoff, Averett runs into his own guy for a second, but Tuajon able to fight his way forward, and first down out of all of that. And that is Damiano Hopkins in on another Harrison tackle, but Tuajon Averett really shining here.
They have done a nice job offensively all night. I can only think of 1 3 and out. Other than that, they've moved the football at will.
We've only had one punt from each team. Both teams have just punted at one time. Otherwise, both offenses have really clicked. Grove, handed off. It's Amos with the carry. And Amos this time, and Jalen Amos to the 39-yard line, picking up 6, making it second down and 4. And yet again, on the tackle for Harrison, Hopkins, along with Aiden Kelsey.
It is so nice as an offensive play caller when you can hit quick on the perimeter and also ram it right at them. And that's the luxury they're affording right now by mixing it up and getting that offensive line jacked up to come off the ball.
Grove firing. Catch made by Averett. Demetrius Averett spinning, and he's brought down. But that is Jack Gonzalez making another nice tackle in space. But Demetrius Averett is near midfield. They give him the 49. That is a gain of 10 and a first down.
Once again, super job of mixing it up, hitting hard inside, throwing out to the flanks. Just be a little bit weary of bubbling that ball too far back inside after you catch that quick pass, because pressure's coming.
Brooks at the top of your screen. Javen Brooks, who's already caught a touchdown pass, goes wide to the right. There's the handoff to Amos. Amos just bouncing off people like a pinball tonight. And he's in Harrison territory to the 42-yard line. Second and short. And Amos comes to the sideline for a breather. He has earned it tonight.
They got some weapons, don't they?
Amos is averaging 7 yards a carry on the season. Grove stepping up.
Post.
Might have a man open, and he does! What a catch by Averett! inside the red zone, brought down by Ben McBriarty. But boy, does Demetrius Averett do a fantastic job of catching this ball.
Little play action held the safety, which enabled the post to open up. He laid it out there beautifully. Let him run underneath it. 2 hands on it, go up and get it. Excellent work offensively.
That is a 39-yard reception to Demetrius Averett. 1st and goal from the 3 for the Panthers. Panther Stadium is rocking here on homecoming. And the handoff to the big barreling back. Could he get the trifecta?
Those hands up.
They're saying no. He's not quite there. So Noah Ardillo Miller gets the carry, already with a receiving and a rushing touchdown tonight, but he is stopped at the 1. The 9th play of the drive is coming up here.
He came in there a little high this time. He is better off as he keeps those pads low. They got up underneath him, but I'd count on him this time, yes, sir.
And this time, Ardillo Miller in again.
And flags. 2 flags.
And that is illegal shift. Ardillo Miller going, no, you can't be serious. And yep, they are saying illegal shift on North Central, so that wipes the touchdown off the board. Boy, we only had 4 penalties the entire first half. We already have 4 in the third quarter. And they've been from both teams. So, and that pushes it back to the 6. So 2nd and goal from the 6 for North Central. But hey, Ardillo Miller, you got a couple of opportunities to get him in there. They're lining him up, though, it looks like as a more of an H-back here. Tuajon Averett in the game, so is Demetrius Averett. Demetrius comes in motion. Grove fakes, rolls, has running room. Grove reaches, does he get in?
Yes, sir.
Touchdown,
yes, sir.
yes, Chase Grove with a rushing touchdown, but we have a flag here, or do we?
He got a flag for throwing that football up in the air, for sure.
So a flag in the end zone. This might be a touchdown standing, but then the penalty might be after the touchdown. Yep, and the Panthers seem to be satisfied that it will be a touchdown here. Grove is going, what'd I do? Well, you threw the ball. And that's Colin Kofer, the head coach for North Central, saying to Chase, what are we doing there, bud? But he's smiling. I don't blame him. Chase Grove just rushing that in for what is his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year.
Showed some wheels turning that corner, didn't he?
So that's a 6-yard Chase Grove rushing TD. Looks like they're trying to figure out, are they going to penalize North Central on the kickoff or on the PAT? Yeah, they called, when they said delay a game, or, the penalty was on North Central, they pointed Harrison's way when it was really on North Central. I think that also caused some confusion. So that backs up the extra point try. Foles' leg is into it, and he got it. And we will take a timeout. 35-21, North Central back on top by 14 on the ISC Sports Network. Taylor's Bar and Table is the same Taylor's you've known and loved for 30 years, but now it's time for the whole family to get the experience. Serving Noblesville, Fishers, Ingalls, and Pendleton, it is your spot for great meals, friendly faces, and a place everyone can enjoy together. That's Taylor's Bar and Table. Well, one thing North Central certainly enjoyed, that scoring drive. 80 yards, 9 plays, 4 minutes and 4 seconds off the clock. Chase Grove runs it in from 6 yards out, pushes the North Central lead back to 14 after Harrison missed a field goal on their opening drive of the third quarter. Caleb Foles with the kickoff, a deep onside, fielded by one of the Harrison upmen. Not a whole lot of room for him to work with. That's one of Harrison's worst starting field positions of the night, as it was fielded by Chase Gothrop. And even though Gothrop is a weapon on offense, he's not the guy that Harrison wants returning it, but he had no choice there. So Harrison starts from their own 31. A little bit of extracurricular activity after that play was over, because, Joe, this game's getting chippy for sure.
It is absolutely happening that way, and it's a tough, hard-hitting, spirited game, but you hate to see that kind of thing happen. But beautiful job on that offensive drive. That penalty that brought that big play back would have stymied a lesser spirited offense, but they did a nice job bouncing back.
Nikoloff with a nice move. Nikoloff breaking loose. Nikoloff causing some trouble here and runs out of bounds at the 39 of North Central. So that ends up being a pickup of 30 yards on that scramble.
Good execution. I didn't know he had that kind of move. He put the brakes on, didn't he? Missed a couple missed tackles. Couple bad angles. It's all about fundamental defense.
It's funny, Nikoloff came in with 27 yards rushing combined on 33 carries, and he gets 30 on one play.
He's a good senior quarterback.
He does it mostly with his arms, but as he demonstrated there, he can do it with his legs if you're not careful. They go back to the ground game this time with Clopton, and Clopton not able to get much out of it. They give him the 36, so that's a gain of 3, and waiting on him right there was the man you see on your screen, number 33, Colton Abitar-Connor, who makes his 4th tackle of the night. 2nd down and 7. So Harrison tied the game at 21 earlier. North Central has scored 14 unanswered, so the Raiders need a score here in the worst possible way. Can they get it? Nikoloff firing, had the right idea, but sent it wide of his intended target, Sullivan Garrett. 3rd down. He hasn't missed many. He hasn't missed many like that.
No, he hasn't, and they have not. They have had a good day in their 3rd down conversions versus this defense. This is a big play here. You get a stop here and continue the great momentum that's been going on here. The offense has made it happen. Defense feeding off it in this drive.
Panther Stadium rising up, trying to rattle this Harrison offense. In motion comes Glick.
Big.
And he gets hit. Down he goes. A blitz coming off the edge. Well timed by Kenneth Still. The junior linebacker comes up with a massive sack in a big moment.
Big job coming off the corner. Quarterback had no idea. No job. Nobody picked it up. Unblocked. Big hit. Those are momentum builders.
I think that might have been Zion Clopton's responsibility. He came up and looked like he was about to block, missed, and Nikoloff paid the price. And now, instead of it being 3rd or possibly 4th down and relatively short, if you don't pick up the 1st down, it is 4th and forever. But even on 4th and 12, it looks like they're going for it. Nikoloff sending in motion Garrett. Here's the snap. Flag flies. Another flag comes down. Nikoloff chased and running, and he doesn't get the 1st down anyway. But now we could, who knows what we could see here. Illegal shift on Harrison. Is there another penalty, though? Because I saw a flag come down before that. Nope, they just say that's the only penalty. Turnover on downs, and North Central gets the ball back. Wow.
Big stop. Good series. Gave bent but did not break. Ran to the football well. The big hit on the sack was huge. And those type explosive plays offensively and defensively, are nothing but huge for the momentum.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. So North Central, with 17 seconds left in the third, takes over. They get a missed field goal out of Harrison on their first drive, and then Harrison turns it over on downs on their second drive of the third quarter, and the Panthers trying to capitalize now. As Tuajon Averett gets the carry, and he is stopped there on that run by Derek Parker and Clayton Daubenmeyer. Daubenmeyer's been everywhere tonight on defense. And they give him the 41-yard line. That is a gain of 4. So it's 2nd and 6 for North Central when we start the fourth quarter after these messages on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Since 1939, Titmont has powered the homes and the businesses that bring our communities to life. Since 2019, Wintech has connected you to the fast, reliable internet you deserve. Together, Titmont Wintech provides local and superior service you know and trust. You help us deliver as a cooperative. We help you thrive as a community. And together, we make each other better when you join me for the ride.
Starting the third quarter, well, ending it rather, we start the fourth quarter, 2nd down and 6. North Central trying to expand their lead. Here's the snap and the handoff, trying to kill some of that clock. And that's certainly a good start to the quarter that you want as the tackle is made by Evan Walker. And I think that was Zion Murphy who got the carry. Murphy has not had the ball carry at all until this quarter. That's his first carry all game long. It's been Averett mainly, and also Noah Ardillo-Miller getting the bulk of the work running the football, but now Zion Murphy is in the game, and that time he got to the 48-yard line, a gain of 7. That was enough for a first down. Murphy tries to get the carry, but the ball comes out. Botched on the exchange. It doesn't work, and recovering the fumble is Gabriel Maxwell. So a fumble on the exchange between Murphy and Grove, and then it is recovered by Gabriel Maxwell, Harrison football.
A risky move on the defense. They brought the house to plug up the middle. A little bit of pressure. QB felt it. Big turnover here.
And that is the first turnover of the game for either team. And it's Harrison's best starting field position of the night. They start at the North Central 44-yard line. They're down by 2 scores, but they got plenty of time to right the ship. Gonzalez comes in motion. Snap to Nikoloff. Evades the rush. Nikoloff firing down the field. Catch nearly made, but broken up.
Flag.
But a flag comes down, and Schneider-Pierre looks like he is flagged for this one. He gets some support from his teammate Jamison Hiddle, but I think he's the guilty party here.
What a game, huh?
Yeah.
What a game.
And it was clean in the first half, very few penalties. But now North Central, after only having 3 penalties all in the first half, they have had 4 here in the second half. Yeah, I think Pierre got his hands on the intended receiver a little bit too early, trying to get it to Chase Gothrop, who already has that big touchdown grab that he caught in the first half. And there's the official call, pass interference on North Central. And that is a 15-yard penalty that moves it to the 29 of the Panthers. Get to gain 15 yards and didn't have to use a whole lot of clock to do it. Pressure comes, and the throw is out to Channing Glick, and Glick is wrestled down at the 30, so he ends up, he caught it behind the line of scrimmage, and then he barely got back, and a good recovery there by Styles Burnett, who made the tackle for North Central.
Significant improvement in just the fundamentals of the defense. They're in the right spots, and they're certainly flying to the football.
2nd and 11. Gonzalez coming near side. Top of your screen is Channing Glick. Now there goes Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets it here. Gonzalez trying to get to the edge. He gets around Hiddle, and out of bounds he is chased by a host of North Central Panthers, the last of which was Travis Darden, a sophomore defensive lineman. And they end up giving him, after all of that, the 28, so that's a gain of 2, and it's 3rd down and 9. It's definitely 4-down territory because a field goal is not going to help you now. They missed a 28-yard field goal in the 3rd quarter, which would have cut the deficit down to 4 at the time. Nikoloff firing. What a catch by Gonzalez. And Gonzalez able to get in bounds. He's tackled by Jaden Wakefield, but he sets up 1st and goal for the Harrison offense.
That was just a beautiful throw. He laid it up there so the safety that was coming over the top could not get to it in time. Perfect throw. Good route. Good route to take advantage of that 2-deep coverage, and the throw was just where it needed to be. Excellent execution. You expect that out of a senior quarterback.
And you definitely expect that as well out of a senior defensive back and wide receiver. So that's a 24-yard pickup, 1st and goal from the 4. Handoff. Clopton nowhere to go, and what a stand-up there by Emmanuel Ohene Dwumfor. Number 74 in red. That was a tackle for the ages right there. And since it's a 1-yard loss, it is a tackle for loss for him.
They were all over that, huh?
It's like he knew what was coming.
See red. Yes, sir. I love it.
9:30 to go in the game. Every stop North Central makes is a dagger against Harrison because they need to score and score quickly. Down 2 touchdowns. New running back in the game for the Raiders. Nikoloff, snap, fires, man open, but he dropped it! Channing Glick, who has been so reliable for the Harrison Raiders all season, their leading receiver in touchdown and yardage, but he could not haul that one in, and it's 3rd down and goal.
Sure was laid out there beautifully. An excellent route to get himself open in the flat, turned the DB around, and just couldn't pull it in.
Avier Walker, the man covering for North Central, breathing a sigh of relief after that.
Wow.
So it's 3rd and goal from the 5. 9:12 to go. The good news for Harrison is that at least stops the clock. Nikoloff fires, flag down. And it might be on Schneider-Pierre again. And Schneider-Pierre having a conversation with his teammate Jaden Wakefield. So it is defensive holding prior to the pass. Half the distance to the goal. North Central Panther fans trying to rally their defense on homecoming. What a night it has been at Panther Stadium. So even though it's half the distance, 3rd and goal now from the 3. Pitch out. There is to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez has such good speed, and he utilizes it for the touchdown for Harrison. From 3 yards out, Gonzalez gets in for the 2nd time tonight.
Everybody's packed inside. They're certainly expecting the inside run. Not enough people out there to protect the edge. With some good speed and big score.
6 plays, 44 yards on the drive. 2 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock for Harrison. And on comes Aiden Robles. And is this again on North Central?
I think this was the wingback jumped.
And boy, look at Andrew Veach just having a time there, talking to Chris Benjamin, telling him you got to get back.
Yeah, it is offside.
That is the third time that they have been called for offsides on a PAT that Harrison then has declined to go with Robles and the PAT afterwards. And I think it's again.
Another one. Well, you know why they decline it.
Yep.
Tell me why they decline it.
They just want to give their kicker more space to kick, or
yeah. As you get closer, that is a distinct angle that's easier to block.
Mm-hmm. And they clearly have seen Robles in practice from this distance, and that's probably what he's most comfortable kicking.
Right.
So he knocks this one through. It's a one-possession game again with North Central on top. They get the ball back when we return in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today and save up to $300 on a new water heater installed.
The Indy Card Exchange will make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards and Pokemon cards as well. And the Indy Card Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. You can sign your kids up for the free Indy Card Exchange Kids Club if they are 13 or younger, and find out more by logging on to IndyCardExchange.com. Harrison has trailed by as many as 14 in this game, 14-0, then 35-21, but they get a touchdown to get back within 7, 9:03 to go.
Costly turnover. The only one of the game, correct?
Correct, and it was Gabriel Maxwell recovering the fumble that was botched on the exchange between Zion Murphy and Chase Grove. And here's the kickoff from Robles. He's elected to go with the shorter kickoff, and this time he just says enough with that. We're going to kick it in for the end zone for a touchback, and Robles comes up with a key one at the right time. And for Robles, that ends up being his 5th touchback of the season. So North Central gets it from their own 20, 9 minutes and 3 seconds. So Joe, do you have a drive or a play chart or anything going on there where you can think, let's kill 9 minutes and 3 seconds? Pretty hard to do that.
They're so explosive that they could score in one play. But, yeah, you'd like to kill some time, but points are more important.
Harrison dancing around defensively. Tuajon Averett gets the carry. Tuajon, there's that explosiveness. Tuajon may go if he's not stopped in time, and he finally is by Gonzalez. Jack Gonzalez has had to chase down a lot of North Central ball carriers tonight, and he had to shove him out at the last moment at the 33-yard line of Harrison.
So much speed, so deep in their backfield. They can go to another guy that's just as quick. What a luxury that is to have a stable back there. Get you out of trouble.
That's a 47-yard rush. Amos is the running back. Now Demetrius Averett gets this pitch, and he is swallowed up. Harrison pursued that well. Clayton Daubenmeyer, another tackle. I know you're surprised to hear that. In fact, he gets that one for loss, and he was helped out there by number 71 on your screen, Max Perez Escobedo.
He's played such a good football game. That offensive play is tough to run because you're so close to the line of scrimmage, but yet you got to make that desperate turn to get up the field, which gave the defense plenty of time to run it down.
That's a loss of 3, 2nd down and 13. Grove firing, has a man open, Averett. Averett shoved out by Jerry McCray. 23-yard line is where they're giving it to him. That is right at the marker, and they say it is a first down on a gain of 13. The Averett boys just have so much speed.
Isn't that something?
So much.
And they're coming back. They're going to be around for a while.
Yes, they are. Demetrius will be a senior. Tuajon will be a junior next year. Tuajon gets the carry, stumbles, nearly falls, stays on his feet. Flag comes down, though. See what this one's about. He gets a nod of approval from Noah Ardillo Miller.
And you know that doesn't, you'd rather not have it happen, but it's not killing you as a coach because they can't stop you, and it's going to take more time off the clock for us to score.
And when you have a penalty, it's not ideal, but you are able to back up and regroup and collect yourself a little bit. So it's holding on North Central.
No, you'd rather have the yards, but you're in a situation here. I don't know how they're going to stop you. There's too much speed and too many different weapons, ways to attack.
Backs them up to the 31. So it's first and about 20. Brooks comes in motion, and a flag comes down again.
Self-inflicted.
And North Central played such a clean game in the first half, but this is their 6th penalty of the second half.
They've had the 1 3-and-out and the turnover, and then these penalties. Other than that, they have been unstoppable.
Tipmont, a proud supporter of high school athletics. Learn more about our super fast fiber internet from Tipmont at join.wintech.com. So it was first and 20. Tack on 5 more. First and 25. The lead referee saying let's reset the play clock there. And they do. But still 8 minutes to go in the game, and it's just a one-possession game still. Tuajon and Demetrius Averett in the game. So is Brooks. Snap, Grove, firing, Averett, catch made. And Averett wrestled down as he tried to get some of that penalty yardage back, tackled by David Warner as well as Brady Hinchin.
Nice poise, chase. The heat was coming. One LB was unblocked. He stayed cool and dished it off. So impressive, really, for a 10th grade young man. I wouldn't mind having those guys for 2 more years.
Nope.
2.5 more years.
2nd and 12 after that, trying to get some of that lost yardage back. Grove again. Protection was good. Now he steps up. Now it's not so great. He was flushed from the pocket, and down he goes at the 23-yard line. After all of that, it looks like he gained a yard before he was disrupted by Noah Douglas.
But the decision not to force it in a situation like this is wisdom beyond years.
Mm-hmm. 3rd down and 11. Again, North Central not going to be in a huge hurry here. But keep in mind, a field goal makes it a 2-score game, but from this distance, it would be about a 41-yarder. I don't know that Foles has the leg for that. Snap, handoff, and the one thing you don't want to do is that, lose yardage. Tackle for loss for Evan Walker. What a time for the senior linebacker to make the tackle on Jalen Amos. Amos just had nowhere to go, and now it's 4th and a mile.
Well, they brought the house. It's an interesting call. It would have been interesting if he would have popped it, but you knew they were cheating up and coming to get it to the flank or run one of those screens would have been ideal at that time.
Now, we've seen Chase Grove in these situations pooch punt it. We saw that a couple times against Warren Central. Maybe he tries that here. Amos is the back again. And that's going to be something that Colin Kofer takes time out and discusses with his coaching staff and his team. And while he does that, we'll have a moment to pass along and remind you that LIUNA is a 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. Also by the College Prospects of America, the CPOA team knows college recruiting and is available 24/7 to provide solutions that serve you. They are your total advocate. The CPOA team will work tirelessly to provide counsel and assess and seek answers for you and your family from our first phone call through your college graduation and everything in between. So email Joe Polizzi at cpoateam@gmail.com for more information. Joe, we're seeing some college talent here in this one, do you think?
Yes, absolutely. This quarterback from Harrison is a prospect, I think.
Yep, he certainly is. We're getting close to naming our LD Smith Plumbing Big Dog of the game. We'll do that here in a little bit. But first, a big moment in the game. 4th down and 13 for North Central from the Harrison 26. I think there might have been a discrepancy about the play clock here. All right, got it squared away. See if Grove tries the pooch punt. No, he's going for it.
Coming. Beautiful read.
And Grove takes off, and he gets the first down. Wow. Chase Grove saw the blitz, ran right by it, and got the first down.
That's the thing. When you send them all, you better cover every gap, because the one gap that's left unoccupied is what he slipped through. Beautiful job. Great read. Again, wisdom beyond his years.
They needed 13, and they got 15, and now they can take some time here. 5:40 to go. You're more within field goal range, but a touchdown here might put the kibosh on it. Grove, screen pass, floating it. Averett. Averett is in for the North Central touchdown. What an evening for Tuajon Averett. Makes it 41-28 North Central.
Unreal. What a great drive. What a finish to the drive. 4th and 13 conversion. And then the touchdown was just a great call on the screen. You know they're still bringing the house. You run the screen, and there was no denying that ball carrier. He smelled it and found it.
So Chase Grove has touchdown passes of 13, 40 yards.
But doink.
And the extra point, though, missed by Caleb Foles. So it's still a 41-28 advantage for North Central. But that gives us a moment to step aside, and we will be back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first start learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and the Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3,
Well, now it's time to name our big dog of the game, brought to you by LD Smith Plumbing and Drains. Tonight's big dog is for North Central, number 54, Kamari Mescal, the sophomore center, 6 feet, 255 pounds. Just like the offensive and defensive linemen, the big dogs of sewers and drains do the dirty work in the trenches. At LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, we know a thing or two about getting dirty and keeping things flowing. Hats off to tonight's big dog for leading the charge. And what a job he has done all night on the offensive line, Joe.
Beautiful. A key, certainly a key. No missed blocks. Got the protection set in the right spot many times. And certainly executed perfectly on that 4th and 13 conversion.
And you saw right there the passion that man plays with. As that one is knuckleballed down the field, bobbled and then picked up by Gabriel Maxwell, and Maxwell has nowhere to go as he is stymied by Avier Walker and Miguel Downey. So now North Central leading 41-28. The one thing you don't want to have is a quick score giving up defensively to Harrison. If Harrison does score, you at least want to make them use as much time as possible.
Yes, absolutely. Make them work it down the field. Stay in a zone, run to the football, keep it inside and in front of you, and don't give up a big play.
That scoring drive, by the way, for North Central, 8 plays, 80 yards, 3 minutes and 35 seconds off the clock. And Harrison gets this from their own 23, 5:28 remaining. Nikoloff with a dump off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez breaking loose, and Gonzalez able to fight his way forward for a first down before being wrestled to the turf by Travis Darden and Anton Ennis. But that allows the chains to move and the clock to stop momentarily.
Man-to-man coverage, they have a lot of confidence in their man. Looks like they're more of a zone here. Yep, no big plays in zone coverage. Tackle them, keep them in bounds. Whoa.
Well, and then a big hit there.
Big hit. He was the hit-e.
Channing Glick delivering some punishment. So 2 plays for Harrison, 2 first downs. The first one was a 12-yard play. This one a 10-yarder. Low snap to Nikoloff, fires it away. Catch made by Garrett, and Garrett is blasted right away by Avier Walker. But he got it beyond midfield. Clock moves quickly here, and so does the offense. That was a 6-yard gain. Flag comes down. And that's the thing, Joe. Sometimes you get going quickly, and look what can happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
False start. Moves it back. 2nd and 4. Just became 2nd and 9.
And plus gives them a chance to substitute, get some fresh horses in there to pressure the QB.
Harrison's not had much issues with these longer yardage situations and spreading it out, have they? Nearly an offside penalty, but that defensive lineman for North Central got back in the nick of time. That was Emmanuel Oheen Dwumfor. That clock is ticking. Nikoloff firing. 2nd catch of the night made by Schwartz, and Jacob Schwartz ridden out by Avier Walker, but he got tackled in bounds before he went out of bounds. So 2nd down just became 3rd down.
And as a defensive coordinator, you're thinking you could do this all day long. Now just be alert for the hitch and go, stop and go, pressure, get his.
And that was a great chase there. And it's a good thing for North Central that they got pressure, because you know who was wide open down the field? Jacob Schwartz was. But Oheen Dwumfor helps put big pressure on right here and change the direction of the play. Travis Darden also helped out. 4th down. Harrison's got to have it. 4th and 7 from their own 48. Nikoloff taking more time than usual now. Play clock down to 3. Throws, catch made. Oh, it's going to depend on the spot.
I think he got it.
Chase Gothrop caught it and got leveled. They're giving him the sticks right at the 7-yard marker.
Good defense.
And now Gothrop heading over to the sideline. And if he is banged up and can't play in next week's game for Harrison, that would be a devastating blow as they get ready to take on one of their big rivals, McCutcheon, next Friday. That's where their head coach, Kyle Holderfield, played his high school football. Fresh set of downs. Nikoloff firing. Catch made, Garrett. And Garrett, as soon as he caught it, Avier Walker was right there to greet him. And they spotted at the 37. That's a gain of 8. 2nd and short.
Again, that's good defense. You're giving up some yards, but you're in the right spot, breaking on the throw.
Throw.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play just to even catch that. Channing Glick. If style points mattered, you'd get a lot of style points on that one. but unfortunately he was well out of play.
Yeah, those white lines mean something.
Uh-huh. The good thing for North Central is that Harrison has had to use more than 2 minutes of game action.
And they're playing just the way they need to play. They're not taking undue chances. They're staying in their zone, breaking up. They're making big hits as they turn up with the football. Here's some pressure.
Gonzalez makes the catch,
yeah,
and then he has nowhere to go.
You missed that tackle. Good job holding on.
Zabari Green, excellent stop and coverage. The junior linebacker does it well. 4th down and about 1.5 yards. And quarterback sneak, Nikoloff just keeps it, which, yes, they get the first down. That stops the clock for a moment. But again, yeah, it's still not ideal. Still have 33 yards that you need to get before a touchdown. Nikoloff stepping up, rolling, has nowhere to throw it, so he just uses his legs and then slides down at the 18-yard line. That is a pickup of 21 yards.
They jumped into man-to-man. Your back's to the quarterback. There's no pressure and no support.
Harrison in the red zone. Nikoloff rolling, firing, end zone, overshot his intended target. Looking for Ryan Sinks, 5'11", 160-pound junior wide receiver. Stops the clock with 2:30 to go. 2nd and 10. Sinks only has 1 catch on the year for 2 yards, and he almost had a touchdown. Now somebody called a timeout, and that was North Central to try to get themselves lined up defensively. So while they do that, we'll remind you that Titmont Fiber Internet Service has the reliable speed you need to stream all the sports, news, shows, and movies you want. Visit join.wintech.com to learn more. Well, I know, Joe, the shame of it is one of these teams is going to win, one will lose, but I think both these teams have grown up a lot tonight.
I agree with you. Both sides of the ball, valuable lessons have been learned. A lot of good coaching going on, a lot of good coaching will take place after reviewing this film. I think North Central just had a little too much speed, and the big play capabilities. That 4th and 13 was a backbreaker. But it was a well-played, hard-hitting, well-matched, good football game. And it ain't over.
2nd and 10 from the 18 for Harrison. Nikoloff with a fire and the drop. He tried to get it to Gonzalez. You got to feel like he's going to go back to Gonzalez again. He's too big of a factor not to. Gonzalez has a 2-yard touchdown run as well as a 3-yard touchdown run.
Had he hit him in stride, that would have been scary because he had a lane and he had a good running start.
Gonzalez now with 3 rushing touchdowns on the season, by the way. He's averaging around 9 yards a carry. They put him in such position to do that and spread it out. In motion goes Glick. Nikoloff in trouble. Down he goes. He is sacked at about the 15-yard line by Andrew Veach. Wonder if Harrison might use a timeout here. They have all 3 of them. Well, somebody did. But that might have been North Central who used it because it looks like we have an injury here. Andrew Veach, sophomore linebacker, able to get up. And that's not, you want to make sure he can continue to play. He's been a big factor on this North Central defense to this point. And Veach this season, 4 tackles for loss and 20 tackles on the year. He's averaging about 20. He's averaging about 4 tackles a game. So you need Veach's contributions.
Is that a misprint? Is he a 10th grader?
It is not a misprint.
Are you kidding me? They got some good young players
that
are really maturing. And I'm glad they had the chance to get some success tonight.
Coach Colin Kofer having a good moment there with Emmanuel Ohene-Dwumfor. And here we are again, big fourth down coming up. They've had 2 fourth down conversions on this drive, but the drive has taken now nearly 4 minutes. And a critical penalty here. False start on Harrison. Backs him up to the 20-yard line. So fourth down and about 6 just turned into 4th and 11. And then the clock winds. Low snap, dug out. Nikoloff rolling, firing towards the end zone, intercepted! And it is Jamison Hiddle with a huge pick in the end zone. He was sitting there waiting on it, and that is the exclamation point on the night for North Central. And this crowd on homecoming enjoying every bit of that.
One of the very few mistakes we've seen from the senior quarterback from Harrison. Forced it up there. He had to get rid of the football. But nothing there. Great job in the coverage. Sat back, made the break on the throw. Iced themselves a football game.
Well, Harrison does have 3 timeouts to use at their disposal if they want. But that would be shocking if they did, given the fact that it's a 13-point lead. So now the question is, how does North Central want to do this? I would imagine it's handoff time to the Averets or possibly Jalen Amos. We'll see what they decide to do. There's the pitch to Averett. And Averett, not much to go with after that. Gabriel Maxwell makes the tackle, and Harrison is going to play the timeout game.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, while they do that, we will pause for a moment on the ISC Sports Network. All right, so the timeout situation is North Central's got 1 left. Harrison has 2. Harrison clearly trying to use as much as they can to try to get the ball back. Jamison Hiddle with an outstanding interception by North Central in the end zone. And that's just the 3rd time that Nikoloff has thrown an interception this year. It's not a mistake he normally makes. And Hiddle averages about 7 tackles a game. And that's his first interception of the season to go along with a pass deflection and a caused fumble. And North Central gets the first down on that play, but they are taking another timeout is Harrison. So while Harrison does that, we will pause one more time on the ISC Sports Network.
Since 1939, Titmont has powered the homes and the businesses that bring our communities to life. Since 2019, Wintech has connected you to the fast, reliable internet you deserve. Together, Titmont Wintech provides local and superior service you know and trust. You help us deliver as a cooperative. We help you thrive as a community. And together, we make each other better when you join me for the ride.
So both teams down to 1 timeout left. All really North Central has to do is run the ball 1 more time to force Harrison to use their last timeout, and then they can take kneel downs. So we'll see if Harrison opts to do that. Amos is the running back. Grove sends a man in motion, and there's Amos getting the carry. Amison blasting his way ahead. Gonzalez was waiting on him. Brennan Bembry, by the way, junior wide receiver in the game. There was our big dog of the game. Kamari Meskel, sophomore, center, doing a heck of a job.
Did you say another sophomore?
Yes. This is one you knew about, though.
He's going to have some fun, isn't he?
Yeah.
Coach Kofer's going to have some fun. Come on in, Center Grove and Carmel.
Yep. Those two teams rejoining the MIC. So the remaining schedule for North Central at Carmel next week. Then they come back home to play Lawrence Central on October 3rd. And then their last two games are Pike and Ben Davis, both on the road. So they only have one more home game after this. That is October 3rd. For Harrison, they are at McCutcheon next week. And then after that, two of their remaining three games are at home. But they are not easy. They're home against Chittard, home against Roncalli, and then at Lebanon on October 17th. It's hard to believe we are more than halfway through the high school football season. Low snap, dug out, Amos the carry. Amos tackled on that play by Gabriel Maxwell, junior defensive back.
Success. They needed some success after those three tough ones to come back and bounce back and play dominant and really clamp down and played fundamentally sound on defense in the second half. Some big plays, some big runs. Excellent fourth down conversion by a heads-up quarterback. Some good stuff to work off and build off of for Coach Kofer.
Yes. So this will snap a three-game losing streak for North Central. They do it on homecoming. And Harrison, some good things to build around, but defensively has been their bugaboo this year. They've given up 21, 34, 21, and then 47 points, and now 41. So the Raiders will try to correct the defensive side of the football, and all North Central has to do is take one more knee, and that puts a bow on this. Chase Grove does just that, or actually the backup comes in. Cole Kreinhagen does that. He takes a knee and ends this one. So the North Central Panthers get their second win of the season. They enjoy it on homecoming, and they snap a three-game losing streak. They're 2-3 on the year, and Harrison drops to 2-3 on the season as the handshake line goes on there. Joe, your final thoughts on what was a highly competitive football game featuring 69 combined points and a lot of exciting plays.
Well, I think that it's a huge step forward. Great job to have some success and win. You know, they came out with and just carried themselves with great confidence. But again, it's enormous to get a win and to keep building to show the players that this coaching philosophy is going to work. We just got to keep getting better and keep getting stronger in the weight room. Now you got to get yourself a big win in conference and then carry on through.
Harrison in Sectional 3, North Central in Sectional 6. Big thanks to our crew tonight, our director, Vince Morellis. Also on the replay, Carlos Alarcon IV, Daryl, our graphics man, and our camera operators, Greg Sharton, Juan Guillen, and Anthony McDonald. For Joe Polizzi, I'm John Herrick. Let's say a big thank you to our sponsors tonight, Abstract Technology Group, doing IT differently, making it simple. Abstract Technology Group. By LIUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Laborers District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA. By Raising Cane's, game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love. By Shear Brothers Realty, local real estate experts serving the neighborhoods around North Central and throughout Washington Township. By Taylor's Pub and Grill, come for the game and stay for the good times. And by Wabash College, schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. Your final score, North Central 41, Harrison 28. You've been watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network, where local lives here.